You're watching KAKE 51, your home for local news, weather, and sports.
Welcome to Hanson Stadium in St. George, Utah, home of the 1999 Dixie Rotary Bowl. I'm Jim Carpenter alongside Mike Nielsen and Joe Tolman, and this will be the deciding factor in the 1999 NJCAA National Championship. The number 2 Butler County Community College Grizzlies have come all the way from Kansas to take on the number 1 Dixie Rebels. This should make for an interesting and exciting game, with Butler being the defending national champions from last year after beating Ricks in the Real Dairy Bowl up in Pocatello. But Dixie is hungry for a national championship. They're really excited. They've done it all year long. They've gone undefeated. And so this should make it a really interesting game with their home field and the home fans behind them. It's going to be really exciting. Mike, you've talked to the Butler County coaches. What kind of things have they said, and should we expect from Butler County today?
Well, the thing about Butler and Dixie are they're very similar in the offense and the defenses that they run. With Butler, they really like to pound the ball down your throat, and that's all started with number 22, Rudy Johnson. He's an All-American candidate at the running back position. He ran for 1,933 yards this year with 25 touchdowns. He is absolutely an unstoppable force, 5'10", 220, and this kid can fly. He has all the tools that a good running back needs. But then they have number 10, Daniel Cobb. He's a sophomore this year, quarterback. He's actually a transfer from Georgia. He left once Quincy Carter took over the role up in Georgia, but they're really high on him. So he's he's a junior as academics, but he's a sophomore playing. So he's really mature. But the defense only gives up 18 points a game, and their offense is averaging over 46 points a game. Their lone loss was the Garden City this year in what was dubbed as the junior college all-century game. I mean, it was just a barn burner. Went to overtime, and Butler County actually walked away with that with a win. But no, Butler County thinks they can really do it. They think it's going to be a defensive struggle. But look for their offense to come out and try to establish the game on the ground. But other than that, the defense is very strong. They run a base 4-3 defense. They mix it up a lot on defense. They don't usually throw 8 men in the box. They feel comfortable enough with their defensive line and their middle linebackers and outside linebackers.
I agree, Mike. It's definitely going to be a defensive struggle. That's the way Dixie's been all year long. Their defense has been strong. And I'm not sure about Butler, but Butler seems like they're going to be really tough. And from what you said, it should be a really exciting game. Looks like Dixie's going to receive the ball here for Butler. Joe, you've talked to Coach Croshaw and some of the Dixie coaches. What did they have to say about today's game?
Well, with Coach Croshaw and these Dixie Rebels, it's always the same thing. They're going to come out and play hard defense. They're going to pound the ball, mostly with Tony Jones or Tony Nielsen. And they're also going to look to Aaron Ware and Ethan Ross, as usual, to help them get their passing game going. Defensively, they really need to stop Rudy Johnson and Brock Weaver, their 6'3", 185-pound wide receiver. Coach Croshaw was kind of worried about a matchup situation with him on the outside. Other than that, if they can stop Butler's running game and keep Weaver from getting open on the far side, they should have a pretty good game. They're really looking to pound the ball well. They really think they can run their offense well against this Butler County defense.
Well, it should be really exciting. I'm excited for the game today. Both teams have just pumped. If you can look at Butler County there, they're just jumping up and down. They're ready to go. They've been doing that all during the pregame. Dixie was doing the same thing as they were warming up. This is really going to be an exciting battle today. This is it. This is the whole kit and caboodle, the national championship. And this is everything what they've been working for all season long. Since the end of last season all the way up till now. This is going to be really exciting.
Well, let's get it started now with number 18, Adam Stiles, will handle the kicking for the Butler County Grizzlies today. He'll get set to kick off. Ethan Ross and Cody Wade are back deep for the Rebels. So here we go. The game is underway. Ross was going to take it in the end zone, 2 yards deep. He pulls it out. He's got blockers in front. He tries to take it up the left side. He gets up to the 27-yard line. Good kickoff return by Ethan Ross.
So great start for the Dixie Rebels, and Ethan Ross fielding the ball in the end zone and taking it out all the way to the 27-yard line. So a pretty good field position starting out for the Rebels here. As we're taking a look at that, Ross just fields it, and he takes off just running, and he sees that he has open on the left side, so he breaks through and then finally gets taken down by a couple of Butler County defenders.
That was a great job blocking up front by the Dixie special teams. They got out in front of him, made a good hole for him. Unfortunately, wasn't able to cut it up all the way, but hey, we got a whole game ahead of us.
So here's our first look at the Dixie offense, they're led by number 14, Quinn Hampton. And starting at running back is number 23, Tony Nilsson. Ethan Ross splits out to the left. They go from the I formation. Hampton with the fake, looks to go to the air. He's looking over the middle for Ross. He's got him. He looks up and they get down to about the 26-yard line. Beautiful play by the Dixie College Rebels.
What an opening play. Ross just breaks loose, and it was good coverage, but Ross just was there. Hampton just placed it, perfectly placed pass by Hampton to Ross. Awesome starting play by Dixie, and Dixie's just going to come out and they're just going to show it. We take a look at this packed house here at Hampton Stadium. Take another look at this. Hampton.
Blocking we have up front by the offensive line. Giving Hampton all day to throw. He feels a little pressure coming from behind him. He's just got to release that ball out in front of Ross, and that's the kind of play we have seen all season long by the Rebels. Ross getting open over the top.
Once again, I formation. Hampton to go to the air. He has Anderson at the 18. He's going to drag a tackler, Bobby Patterson, down to about the 12. So Dixie comes out early and shows that they're not afraid to throw the ball down the field.
Dixie, this is totally what I was not expecting. I was expecting Dixie to come out with their normal running plays and stuff, but they're going right to the air. They're playing very aggressive here. In 2 plays, they've marched almost the whole way down the field and put themselves into great scoring positions here.
One thing about that, as you mentioned before, Mike, this Butler County linebacking crew has at least 2 All-Americans. I'm not really too surprised that Dixie's going to the air early.
So once again, Ethan Ross split out in the slot. Wyatt Gines out to the right. I formation. It's a fumble. The ball's on the ground. Looks like Dixie's on top of it, but Butler County's saying they have it. It looks like they're going to keep it 2nd down. So Dixie almost kicks himself in the bottom. Almost coughed up that fumble there. Looks like they had a hard exchange from the center to Quinn Hampton.
I tell you, it's a little cold out there today. It's hard to keep your hands warm. I mean, it's not really too cold, and you don't want to get yourself too overheated as you take a look at the replay of the fumble. You could see that Dixie had the ball recovered immediately after it was fumbled.
Well, this field is in excellent condition. The best I've watched the game on it all year. They've done an absolute superb job on this field for this bowl game. So once again, Hampton, pitch out to Tony Nilsson. He'll cut it back. He's got room up front. He's going to score a touchdown. Tony Nilsson, touchdown from 13 yards out.
So here's Dixie pumped and ready to come out and play the ball. They made 2 exceptional passes and then a run by Tony Nilsson right up the middle. Great job by Dixie opening drive.
You know what? Those two great passes already in the game really opened up that run. When you open up a passing game, you should take a look at the crowd on the bottom of the field. When you open up with a good passing game like that, the linebackers are going to back up. You just hit them right up the middle like that with Tony Nilsson.
So Kobe Mitchell gets set to kick the point after. As Dixie jumps out to the early lead, 6-0 here. He's on for the extra point try as Mitchell. There's 13:30 left in the first quarter. The snap is up, the kick is down, and it's good. So Dixie leads 7-0 now.
So Dixie coming out and hitting first hard. We're taking a look at this touchdown run, but Tony Nilsson, he just runs through the middle, hit a couple times, and just does a little spin move and breaks through for a touchdown.
That was terrific blocking up front. This offensive line for Dixie has come out really strong in the game. They're making huge holes. They're doing great pass protection as well.
The Dixie offense showed that they can get it done. Now it's up to the Dixie defense to put a stop here against Butler County. A lot of momentum swings Dixie's way, getting on the board first and early.
Mike, how important is that for Dixie to come out that strong and hit?
Well, you know, all year Dixie's offense has kind of sputtered at times. They haven't really opened up and been able to go down the field just like they did. You know, it usually takes them a little while to get warmed up, but you know, if they come out on the first drive and score 7 against a very tough Butler County defense, that sends a message to them. They're ready to play.
You know, when I was talking to some of the players before the game, they said that they had the most intense week of practice that they have ever had. These guys really came out ready to play this game.
So number 29, Travis Blackwell will come on, and he will kick off to number 2, or actually number 12, Sam Breeden for the Grizzlies.
Ball came off the tee. Well, not much of a wind out there today, not too bad.
But with 13:30 left, the Dixie Rebels have jumped out on top in this national title game, 7-0. Blackwell to kick it deep, and there it's up. Breeden to fall under at about the 4-yard line. He'll feel that he's got blockers out in front. He makes a move. He takes it up. He's past the 30, down to about the 32. The ball's fumbled. I think they're going to call it down. But great coverage by the kicking team for the Dixie College Rebels.
I tell you, Blackwell right there looked like he almost was going to get his first touchdown of his career. That's a kicker's dream to pick up a fumble running into the end zone. Unfortunately, it was down before he picked it up.
This will be our first look here at number 10, Daniel Cobb, and number 22, Rudy Johnson, who has just been phenomenal for the Grizzlies thus far. We'll have a timeout here by the referees.
Starting offense for Butler Grizzlies.
By the way, those referees today for us, referee is Carl Richins, umpire is Jared Wade, base judge is Kim Nielsen, headlines are Kelly Holman, line judge Joe Cronin, side judge Bob Blair, and field judge Todd Campbell.
Cobb hands off to Rudy Johnson. He's going to be stacked up right about the line of scrimmage. He's lucky to get 1 yard there.
So the Grizzlies are coming out running, and they run right into the Dixie wall there as the Dixie defense is all lined up there ready for that, and they try to draw play right up the middle, and a little unsuccessful there for the Grizzlies.
I tell you, how phenomenal has this Dixie defense been this year? They've been just absolutely unstoppable. They've been the best wall I've ever seen in a Dixie team.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 9 from the 34-yard line. Cobb with the hand signals. He's got Rudy Johnson deep. He goes through the air. He looks over. He's got a man at the 39. Pat Sandoval on the tackle along with Solo Moananu for the Rebels. And that'll bring up 3rd down from about the 38-yard line.
So once again, the Dixie defense coming up big there on the stop there. Good play by the Grizzlies, and they did pick up about 5 yards on that play there. But Pat Sandoval just right there and able to take down the receivers.
So right now, do you go with Mike if you're Butler? Do you go with the run, or do you go with a quick hitch pass?
Well, you stick with what got you here, and I know that Rudy Johnson has got them here thus far, but Daniel Cobb does have an arm. He's a very smart quarterback for the Butler County Grizzlies. From the I formation, the Grizzlies come back to work. It's a draw play to Johnson. Looks like we have a flag on the play. Looks like it's a false start. They'll probably have to redo this one.
That could work out in Butler's favor because although Johnson did get up the hole, C of E just kind of pushed him over with that big arm of his. He really didn't have much of a tackle. He just kind of helped push him to the ground.
Now, Rudy Johnson is an absolute oak tree. I got to see it before the game. Take a look here. The kid's 5'10" and 220 pounds. As Pat Baker tripped him up. I really look for big things from Pat Baker on defense today. He's played the last couple games with a separated shoulder, and he's all better now. And he's a fantastic linebacker for the Dixie Rebels.
Take a look at him out there. He seems to be the one that's most pumped. He's got his head going up and down. He's just really excited.
Well, when you finally start to feel healthy, you really want to get into a game, especially a game of this caliber.
They go to a single back formation. Cobb to go back to the air. He's got time. He locks it over. It's incomplete as he went to number 12. Sam Breeden, the wide receiver, 6'4", 220-pound sophomore from Kansas City.
Sam Breeden's the guy that Coach Torso was most worried about. Their best wide receiver he was most worried about earlier in the game. He's a big fella at about 6'4", 220 pounds, wide receiver.
So here comes back Adam Stiles to kick it deep. Wyatt Gines waits at about the 20 for the punt. The Rebels only rush with a couple. It's a short kick. And Gines is going to pick it up about the 24. He bobbles the ball, picks it up, and he's going to be leveled by number 9, David Rouch, defensive back, 6'4", 210-pound freshman. But one thing about the Grizzlies is at the start of the year, they only had 8 sophomores that had ever even played at college level. They're very inexperienced. Hampton barking out signals. Look like a big rush from the Grizzlies. Here they come. Hampton's under pressure. Gets it out to Aaron Ware. Looks like the ball hit the ground.
They're gonna roll it at the catch.
That was a terrific job by Ware getting his body around catching the ball. It's no wonder that USC and Marshall are looking for him, trying to pick him up this year.
He's an excellent tight end. Read a great article about him in the Spectrum this morning. And a phenomenal athlete. Like they said, he just comes to the football field and just handles it like a job, gets the work done. Chris Anderson comes to the left alongside Ethan Ross in the slot. I formation, Tony Nielsen in the deep back. The give is to Nielsen up the hole. He's going to barrel forward for the first down at about the 36-yard line.
So thus far, Dixie just coming out there just completely dominating this game. Just take a look at Tony Nielsen, just a little limping after that play there. But picking up the first down, and they're just doing a great job of dominating the game thus far.
So we've got a 1st and 10 from the 36. Dixie has been able to move the ball exceptionally well here in their first 2 possessions. Hampton once again right back to the I formation. He's got Gines and Ross split out. He's got Ethan Ross to the right side. It's almost picked off by number 3, Bobby Patterson, for the Butler County Grizzlies, as Quinn Hampton was under pressure, just let it fly just a little too short for Ross.
I think in that situation, Hampton should have just thrown the ball away. Ross was well covered by Patterson. All Patterson had to do was step in front of the ball and get a little hawk and pick that off.
So this will bring up second and 10 from the 36-yard line. Butler County set up on defense. Once again, the Rebels stay with that traditional I formation. Ethan Ross comes to the left. Chris Anderson to the right. Quinn Hampton barking out signals. He drops back. He's looking to pass. Great time to throw the ball. He's going to take it himself. He'll pull it up about the 40-yard line. A gain of about 4 yards. Great protection by that Dixie offensive line, though.
Jeremy Schufelt, watch here on the replay, watch Schufelt coming out of the back. You see a blitz coming, see him right back there, just picking up a blitzing linebacker from the outside. That's great mobility by Schufelt.
So big 3rd down and 6 here in the first quarter. Dixie leads the Grizzly County, or the Butler County Grizzlies, 7-0. Just under 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. Dixie right back to the I formation. 2 wide receivers to the left. Right up the middle. He'll bust it forward to about 44. He's about 2 yards short for the first down.
I was talking to Aaron Stain before the game. He said he's really pumped for this game. He's ready to play. I could see in his eyes before the game. He's ready to play.
Hopefully everybody on both sides of the ball are ready to play. So Butler County comes up with a stop. Number 21, Jason Ham, will drop back deep for the Grizzlies. He waits at about the 10. Chris Anderson to come handle the punting duties for the Rebels. He'll stand back at about the 30. Butler County makes some shifts. Anderson with the kick. Nice high kick. It'll be fielded about the 10-yard line. He takes it and he's down. Great play there by number 54, Brock Condi, as he hustled downfield to make the tackle.
It's too bad he was looking straight up, just waiting for that ball to come, because they were just marching. Those Dixie defenders were just marching down the field, and I saw it coming. If he would have caught a fair catch, he would have been all right, but he got hit as soon as he caught the ball.
That was a terrific kick by Chris Anderson, getting the ball high, placing it right where it needs to be. And in that situation, sometimes you just want to let the ball bounce.
Yeah, we have a great turnout crowd though here for this national title game. The seats are just full. Butler County's 90 yards away from the end zone. The pitch is to Johnson. He'll take it up the left side. He's got room as he barrels over number 20. And he's going to be right about the first down sticks. I think they're going to call it second about half an inch.
I tell you, look at the size of Johnson's legs. That guy is tough.
Now, I stood next to him earlier this morning. The guy is just so thick. He's a big kid.
He's got about the size of a lineman there. He's 5'10", 220. I mean, that's...
So they're actually calling that a first down. So
they do get the first down at the 20-yard line. just a hair from the 20-yard line. They come back out. Number 25, Ronnie Arnold, splits out to the right. Shaheen to the left. Cobb, once again, the give is to Johnson. He tries to take it up the right side, but he's met by Dixie tacklers on the left side. Number 51 led the charge there as Isaiah Tafua wrapped Johnson up.
I tell you, when you have a defense with the ability that Dixie has, and they're keying in on you, it's really hard to get your game going. Johnson, though, he's really going to have to step up if Butler hopes to win this game.
Well, it's really going to start with that offensive line for the Butler County Grizzlies. They really need to get the job done against this bigger defensive line for the Rebels. Cobb checking things over. He drops back to go to the air. He's looking to his left side. He's got a man. Just underthrows him just too far. As he had number 12, Sam Breeden, split out to the left.
I tell you, Butler, I'm pretty sure, has a really good idea that Breeden will be able to get open. He's a big guy at 6'4", 220. As you take a look at the replay here, Breeden was open. He had separation. The ball was just placed a little too far in front of him. Wasn't able to get there in time.
So 3rd down and 8 to go here from about the 24 or 23-yard line. They come with a 4 wide receiver set, single back formation. Cobb checks things over here. He calls out the cadence, drops straight back. They're looking for a little screen pass to Johnson. Johnson has it. He has blockers out in front. He's going to get the first down at about the 32-yard line. Great play calling there by the Butler County Grizzlies.
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. As you take a look at the replay here, you can see that Dixie was really keying in on getting Cobb. Just that quick screen pass over the top to Johnson. That's a great way to get all your offense going.
It was great heads-up running by Johnson, too, and being there and seeing the ball coming and able to come down with it. And then the run, just great, finding the holes and, juking everybody and getting there.
So first down from the 32-yard line. They go to a 2-back formation. Cobb to go to the air. Little quick pass to Breeden. Through his hands. Should have had it.
I tell you, Cobb and Breeden look like they're not exactly on the same page here. Cobb keeps throwing a little behind or a little in front of Breeden. And Breeden is not really being that well covered. He's got separation. I'm pretty sure that Dixie's worried about him getting open deep. And on these quick out routes, he's really getting good separation. Cobb needs to start hitting.
I tell you the one thing about that, though, Cobb, he threw the ball in a catchable position for Breeden. Breeden should have caught that ball.
So Arnold goes to the left. Breeden comes to the right. Rudy Johnson is deep. The pitch is to Johnson up the left side. He tries to take it off tackle. He's got room up on the sideline. He takes it up to about the Dixie College 45-yard line as he's knocked out of bounds.
Did you see Dan Brigham push Kyle Olsen into him? Brigham knew he wasn't going to get there, so he just said, hey, Olsen, you can get him. Shoved him right into him.
Great play there by the Grizzlies.
Take a look at this on the replay. He's got great blocking in front of him. Break it up towards the sideline. He's thinking end zone. And then right there, you couldn't really see it too well, but Brigham just shoved him right into him.
So Butler County is trying to put together a drive here, as they'll have number 4, Lance Stegman, split out to the right, and Breeden split out to the left. Once again, a 2-back formation with Patrick Henry and Rudy Johnson back. Cobb to go to the air. He's got a man, Stegman. Beautiful pass and beautiful catch over Sandoval as number 4, Lance Stegman, hauled down the pass from Cobb at about the 11-yard line. Beautiful thrown ball by Cobb.
I tell you, that was a beautifully thrown ball. Take a look at this. You got the pump fake, gets the defense in the air, and you just go right over top of the DB. That was a great concentration catch by Stegman.
Sandoval there was looking for the interception as he was watching the ball coming, and that's what he was just watching the ball instead of his man. And
so Butler County is trying to answer the initial touchdown, the first touchdown by the Dixie Rebels, with 6:50 left here in the first quarter. They have 2 split out to the left. Rudy Johnson is back deep at the tailback position. We've got flags on the field. We'll wait for the call from the head referee. As we got a false start on the Grizzlies, that'll put them back. And then they'll start it over.
I tell you, one thing we've seen all year, when a team starts to make mental mistakes like that early in the game, Dixie's always more than willing to capitalize on them. He can't. It looks like we have about 6:25 left in the game. Score is 7-0 in favor of the Rebels. But it looks like Butler's ready to, after the first quarter, pardon me.
So Cobb to give it to Johnson. He tries to take it up, and he's met by Solo Moananu behind the line of scrimmage. Great tackle by Moananu.
So Moananu all year has used his 6', 235 frame. Pardon me, 210 frame. Take a look at the speed he's got. He fights over the blocker. Actually, he does get taken down by the blocker. He's got the presence of mind to get right back up and take Johnson down. Great play.
So it'll be 2nd and 16 from the 19-yard line. The Grizzlies trail by 7 here in the early going with 5:45 left on the clock in the first quarter. Cobb's got an I formation lined up behind him. 2 receivers to his left. He rolls out to his left, looking for a man. He's got a man open. It's picked off. Cody Wade picked it off. He's got room up the left side. He's just running. He picks it up to the 22-yard line as Rudy Johnson knocks him down.
Great job by Cody Wade. He saw that. He had great coverage on his man and was able to pick the ball up, and then presence of mind to run the ball. Just taking a look at this. Watch Wade.
I'm surprised Cobb really threw it there. I mean, I know his man is like a lot bigger than Wade, but when you have a man like that in the end zone, you need to go over top. You need to get the ball in the air, give your wide receiver a chance to use his size.
Well, Wade kind of came from behind him to make that interception. Just to
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
You don't have to be a skydiver to wear our clothing. You just have to have the spirit of those who live on the edge.
This is Santa's workshop. Happiest place in the world.
Okay, Cake Man, tell the boys and girls how many days there are until Christmas. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Here we come with 13 more days, boys and girls. Here we go, 13 more days. Whoa, 13 more days until Christmas, boys and girls. 1 day.
Hey, boys and girls, don't miss our special Santa's Workshop at 3 p.m. Christmas Eve, right here on ABC Kansas. Brought to you by Emprise Bank and the Dillon's Plus Shoppers Card.
Over at the 21-yard line. Dixie in the I formation. The give is to Nielsen. He'll take it up to the middle. Gain about 3-4 yards there. As actually he'll gain 3 to about the 24. Breeden on that last play, he looked like he kind of gave up on the route. Kind of finished his route, and Cobb laid the ball out just a little too far.
I tell you, both him and Cobb need to get back on the same page if Butler's going to get into this game again.
Anderson comes into the game. He'll split out to the right with Ethan Ross to the left. Tony Nielsen is the deep back with Aaron Sane, the up back. The pitch is to Nielsen. He tries to break it out. Great containment there by number 2, Mark Strickland. The 6'2", 225-pound outside linebacker for the Grizzlies is in on the stop.
So Strickland did a great job right there. Take a look here on the replay. You can see him coming out your left side. One of the linemen missed their block, and Strickland was more than happy to come down and take out Nielsen in the backfield.
So Wyatt Gines comes back into the ball game. We have 4:19 left in the first quarter. Dixie leads 7-0. It's 3rd and 13 from the 18-yard line. Hampton drops straight back. He's looking to pass. He's got Ware across the middle, broken up beautifully by Strickland.
They're going to call a flag on play. That's a late flag.
That was a really late flag there.
might have been personal foul against Strickland.
I think it's pass interference.
If that's pass interference, I think that's a really bad call.
That is a really late call, nonetheless, too.
Yeah. Pass interference.
I really don't think that was pass interference unless he had his arm on Ware's back before he went for the ball.
The Butler County fans aren't liking that one bit. You can hear the boos.
And we'll have an automatic first down here for the Rebels. So that will keep this possession alive for the Rebels as the clock will continue to start to tick.
Now let's take a replay. Let's take a look at this replay here. Let's see if we can find out where it was at. See, oh yeah, he did actually have his arm on Ware's back before the ball was there.
That was a kind of a ninny call.
I think the ref had to debate that in his mind there for a minute.
Yeah, it was a really late flag. And
he'd tell you his flag was stuck. That's why he couldn't get it out. But nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line as Dixie had a pass interference. The screen is set up to Ross. He's got blockers out in front. He takes it into the secondary. He breaks it up across the 50, across the 40, out at the 33-yard line. Beautiful play by the Rebels.
that was a terrific job. Everybody in front of that ball was looking for the run on the deep pass. That was a terrific job. They let the defense come at him right until Ross had it open. Take a look at this replay. So you can throw Ross. You can see the throw to Ross. And look at the block he has from him. He just has to use his speed to get out well past the 50-yard line. Look at the speed he has. Out accelerating everyone. Unfortunately, Bobby Patterson had a better angle on him and was able to take him out of bounds.
So the Rebels go back to work at the 33-yard line from the I formation. Gines split out to the left. Ross split out to the right. They do go with the quick pitch. Ware's got it. He's upended at the 24, and he's going to pick up the first down. Way to hold on to the ball, Aaron Ware.
I tell you, Aaron Ware, that's the kind of thing that makes him an All-American. Look at the throw. That's a terrific throw, and look at the separation he has. And right, you see right there, just gets his legs taken out from under him. There's a little 180 in the air.
That was a nice play there.
Ware does a great job in getting his whole body, extend his arms out there to pull that one in. Just a great grab by the tight end.
So 3:45 left in the first quarter. Dixie is continuing to drive. They are on about the 23-yard line from the I formation. The give is to Nielsen. He cuts it back to the right side, brings it right back up the middle for a gain of about 7 yards.
I tell you, this Dixie offense and defense, take a look at the replay here. You can see Nielsen just has to pick a hole and stick to it. So this Dixie team is really ready to play. That intense week of practice has really helped them out a lot.
The clock continues to tick. We're right at the 3-minute barrier here in the first quarter. Hampton once again walks him up. The fake to Sane, back to Tony Nielsen. There's a flag on the play. And that goes for barely a yard if he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a dangerous territory for flag for Dixie.
And we do have a man down on the field. Looks like big number 70, Brent Hogan for the Rebels is down on the field.
I tell you, that's the guy that can't afford to lose right now. With the way this Dixie offense has been playing, every lineman on that squad is a very key part of how well this offense runs. And if he's out for the game, this could be a terrible loss for Dixie.
Coach Croshaw will stroll onto the field to make sure big Mr. Hogan is okay. I know Dixie has really came out and has done the unexpected. Let's see if we can see what happens here to Hogan.
Well,
Looks like somebody just fell on the back of his legs.
Yeah, it looks like he might be all right. Looks like he might have a little bit of a knee twist. He is being helped off the field. Limping a little bit. Looks like he'll be all right.
We did have a penalty on the play against Dixie, and it'll take it back to their 26-yard line where it will be 2nd and 13.
I tell you, that's going to add insult to injury. Oh, well.
And number 72 is checked into the game, or actually, was it on the left side? Number 52 is checked into the game.
Josh Vanderstein.
So working from 2nd and 13 from the I formation. Butler County looking to blitz. They pick up the blitz. Quinn goes to the air, and Aaron Ware just turned the other way.
I'll tell you, that time, Ware was looking for the end zone. Hampton was just looking to get rid of the ball. You know, when you're a wide receiver or a tight end, you got to realize when there's a blitz and your quarterback's in trouble, you've got to come back to him, look to get the ball, because he's got to get rid of it. He doesn't want to get hit.
So we're under 3 minutes here. We're at the 2:33 mark in the first quarter. Dixie leads the Grizzlies 7-0 here in the national championship game. Number 1 versus number 2. Tony Nielsen on the pitch out. He's wrapped up by number 5, Stephen Williams, for the Butler County Grizzlies. He'll be dropped for a loss to about the 28, so a 2-yard loss on the play.
Watch this as Williams. He does a great job of breaking through the line and just getting there in the backfield to take down Tony Nielsen.
Take a look at how pumped up Strickland was. I mean, at the end of the play, he hadn't done anything, but he's the one jumping around the most. Hey, he came out ready to play. You know, before the game, I was watching Butler come out, and I believe it was him. As soon as he walked out, I said, "Hey, Butler," and the whole crowd just went crazy. So it was, I guess he's kind of the emotional leader of their team.
So number 19 is on to kick a field goal, a 45-yard attempt. Kobe Mitchell.
Dixie calls a timeout.
Looks like Kyle Olsen wasn't ready for the setup.
Well, Dixie will talk it over here real quick. But the Grizzlies put together a good drive last time they had the ball. They were just intercepted down inside the red zone by the Rebels as Cody Wake came up with a big stop.
Well, first we just had Mitchell and Olsen talking to Coach Croshaw. Now we've got the whole field goal unit talking to him.
As Ed Rogers just announced the score from last night's Real Dairy Bowl as Garden City was knocked off by Ricks 59-22 in the game. We're just a minute and 49 seconds away from the second quarter. Dixie's still on top here, 7-0. As the crowd comes to its feet, as the cheerleaders will pass out some footballs here.
I just wish one of them had a strong enough arm to get up to us, you know.
Hey, I've seen some girls. They've been able to chuck them up here.
One of them hit our window back a few weeks ago.
It's hard to throw those little balls, too. They really don't have much weight. It's hard to get something behind those.
It's like throwing a wiffle ball.
It's great, though, to see this big crowd out here for this.
We got fans on the hill, on the grass, just everywhere.
Butler County had a great turnout of fans for themselves as they made the 22-hour trip all the way from Kansas.
That's dedication to your team. If you're going to drive that far to come all the way to St. George, Utah from Butler County, Kansas.
Well, I tell you, if you had a chance to get out of Kansas, wouldn't you?
So Kobe Mitchell from the 45-yard line. He's inside the middle of the hash marks. He definitely has the leg for it. It's just a matter of putting it through the uprights. It's up. It's going to be a fake. Kyle Olsen looks to throw. He throws to Jesse Knight. It's going to be incomplete as he caught it out of bounds.
I tell you, that was really close. That was close. Knight had his feet in. He tried to cut his feet in just at the last second. He just didn't have enough field presence to get to the ball. As you take a look
Pass
at
to
the
the tight end, number 89.
Olsen
Jesse Knight.
Drops the ball over top, floats it up to Knight, and he just had his foot out of bounds. If he could have dragged his feet a little bit and stretched out, he might have been able to catch that ball and stay in bounds.
So Butler County comes up with a big stop here. 1:42 left in the first quarter. Daniel Cobb to go back to work here for the Grizzlies as they trail 7-0. They have 73 yards of field to go. The give is to Johnson up the left side. He's going to be dropped at about the 33-yard line.
So once again, Johnson just breaks through and able to pick up 5 yards on the play. He's just a strong runner.
The thing about Butler County is they like to work the ball on the ground to wear this defensive front out of any opponent that they play.
You know, I've noticed that it's not really that Butler isn't making the holes or picking up all the blockers. It's that you know, occasionally Johnson doesn't have enough time to get to the hole, and, you know, when you get to this level and playing a team like Dixie, those holes are going to, if you can open them up, you have to hit them hard, because they're going to close it just a couple seconds later.
Once again, Cobb has the I formation. He runs a little option play to Johnson. He's got room up the left side. He breaks it up. He's across the 50. He's still on his feet. Carries him down to the 41-yard line of the Rebels. Great play by Johnson.
I'd say right there in the backfield, you can see Anton Palapoy just level Daniel Cobb. But, you know, it doesn't really make much of a difference. I'm sure Cobb's going to take a hit like that if Johnson can get all the way across the 50-yard line like that.
So a 30-yard pickup by Rudy Johnson. And the Butler County Grizzlies are right back in business. The clock continues to run. We're inside 40 seconds in the first quarter. Cobb walks him up. He's got Stegman to the right. He's got Breeden to the left. We've got a flag on the play. As Breeden is giving the official an earful.
Oh, you know, the official just kind of pointed at him, just gave him a little shaky finger, like, don't talk to me like that, young man.
So a false start. And I do believe it is on Breeden.
I tell you, the Butler County coach was that he's still yelling at the refs. And he's upset. He's pointing at him. You know, he's pretty upset about it.
Well, you can't make little mistakes like that. They hurt you, especially when you're trying to put together a drive.
I wonder if he's still got the chew in his mouth while he's yelling at the ref, you know. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him while he's yelling.
So 25 seconds left here in the first quarter. Cobb checks back with Patrick Henry. He gives a fake. He's looking downfield. He's got a man, Breeden, at the 32-yard line, right at the first down sticks, as he makes a beautiful grab.
You know, finally, Cobb and Breeden are finally able to attach the ball to each other. As you can see here, take a look at the replay. The fake run brings the linebackers up. Breeden gets a little separation over the middle, and Cobb's just able to throw a strike right to him.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Dixie leads 7-0 here. But the Butler County Grizzlies are trying to march back down the field and answer with a touchdown of their own.
I'll tell you what.
Pamper your soul and excite your senses as you prepare for the holidays with a twist. Wichita's new and unique gourmet food and gift shop in Old Town has hundreds of items for entertaining and gift-giving. With a Twist is brimming with fine, rich coffees, teas, chocolates, and foods from around the world. We specialize in elegant gift baskets and corporate gifts. Order online at foodandgifts.com or visit our store for the finest personal service imaginable. With a Twist, the new and exciting solution for your holiday shopping.
This is Santa's Workshop. Happiest place in the world.
Okay, Cake Man, tell the boys and girls how many days there are until Christmas. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Here we come with 13 more days, boys and girls. Here we go, 13 more days. Whoa, 13 more days until Christmas, boys and girls. 1 day.
Hey, boys and girls, don't miss our special Santa's Workshop at 3 p.m. Christmas Eve, right here on ABC Kansas. Brought to you by Emprise Bank and the Dillon's Plus Shoppers Card.
Congratulations to James Shebest and the players and staff of the two-time National Junior College champion Butler County Grizzlies. Thanks for a great year and many more to follow. This message brought to you by Carlisle's Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated, your local York dealer. Carlisle's is the one-stop pro shop servicing of all of El Dorado and the surrounding area for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical needs. Congratulations to Butler County Community College.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
Breeden there on a great 16-yard grab by Breeden. They just were able to pick up a first down as they are threatening here. We've seen some really exciting stuff, Joe. Joe, what is Dixie doing right so far?
You know, they're doing everything right. Their special teams is playing with intensity. Their offense and their defense are playing with intensity. That's what happens when you work hard all week. You end up playing a game like this. They're hitting everything right. They know what they're doing, especially, I mean, at the very beginning of the game when Ross and Hampton hooked up on that deep pass to lead to the first Rebels score. That's, you know, that's just the kind of thing they've been doing all year. And they're coming out playing like they've been, like they're all just on the same page. Everything's working great for them. Unfortunately, though, Butler is starting to get their offense working together to really turn the game around here if Butler scores.
Well, the one thing about it is that Butler's defense is coming up really big so far. You know, the Dixie drove down and scored on the first drive, but since then their defense has been really tough, and they've been making the stops. And but
you can see the Dixie defense trying to get the crowd back into the game.
So as the team come back onto the field here, the Grizzlies are coming out of their huddle now, getting set to go. Got Cobb getting under center. And he hands it off to Johnson. Johnson's able to pick up about 1 or 2 yards on the play.
Once again, that's Dixie's defense closing the holes as soon as they open. The linebackers recognize where the play's going. They hit it hard. It's really hard to be a running back when you run into a hole and all of a sudden there's a linebacker meeting you right there. You can see right there at the end of the play how the Dixie defense was just swarming to the ball.
That was actually a loss of down. Lost 1 on the play. So here comes the Grizzly offense again with Breeden split out to the left. And number 4, Lance Stegman, split out to the right. As Cobb fakes it to Johnson, rolls right, throws it up the middle, and Breeden underthrows Breeden. Breeden's not able to pick it up.
You know, he had Breeden wide open here, just throws it to his left. Look, Breeden, there's nobody even within 5 yards of Breeden. Just a terrible thrown ball there by Cobb.
Well, here's some here's the first quarter quarterback stats for you. Daniel Cobb has only thrown 50% with 1 interception. On the other hand, Hampton has thrown 5 for 7 with 123 yards, especially that 46-yard bomb to Ethan Ross.
So out comes the Grizzly offense again, ready to do it again with Johnson being the lone back. It's going to be a quick count. An overthrown ball to number 81, Brock Weaver.
Butler County just looks unorganized right now. They just don't look like they have any communication between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Quick count. Brings up a 4th and down for the Grizzlies. And Cobb's still in the game, so it looks like they're going to be going for it.
Well, you know, in this territory, a lot of times, especially at the junior college level, coaches want to go for it because, you know, a punt, you know, you can't really punt, and a lot of kickers can't make that decent of a field goal.
So Cobb drops back to pass. He's looking. He's got a man. That was number 12, Sam Breeden.
That's just Breeden again, just coming out of nowhere. You know, he only had a couple of catches in the first quarter, but now all of a sudden he's, you know, it's like he only comes out when he's most needed. That's the kind of player you want, but you also want a player that's going to be consistent.
Well, the thing about Breeden, he really can stretch this Dixie defense. He's a deep threat downfield, but you have to watch him in the flats. He has a great speed off of his first step, so he's a threat anywhere he goes on the field.
So once again, they're coming out with the 4 wide receivers. He throws again to Breeden, but Breeden's going to get hit right away by Cody Waite. He fights a little bit, but finally brought down for a gain of about 1.
Now, a lot of receivers would have just fell down and just taken that initial hit and said, that's what I can get. Breeden keeps those legs pumping. He's hit by 3 or 4 defenders by Dixie. Rolls forward for, you know, maybe another yard, but still, great second effort by Breeden.
Well, you know, Breeden's got 3 inches and about 40 pounds on Cody Waite, so I don't really think he's going to be thinking of fall down. He's going to be thinking, hey, I can break this guy off me. Why not?
So the Grizzlies coming out with their 4 wide receivers, again with Johnson the lone back. And the give is to Johnson. He gets hit right away by that Dixie wall.
Good job by Dan Brigham, Danny Robinson, and Antoine Pellepoy as they had great pursuit on that little draw play by the Grizzlies, which was very unsuccessful.
You can take a look on the replay. See this once again, those swarming tackles. Even as the running back was already going to be taken down, Solo Moana now. I had a hard time pronouncing his name all season, I guess, but he still comes flying in at the end of the play. Kind of defense this Dixie team is. They're really excited to be here.
Well, the Grizzlies coming out again with what they've been doing best with their 4 wide receivers. And Cobb drops back to pass, but then there's stop a play.
Looks like we're going to have a false start of some sort.
I think we had a delay of game penalty against the Grizzlies.
I think you're right, Mike.
It is a false start, but the play clock was down to 1. And then I think somebody moved anticipating that the play clock was down. I thought it was a delay of game.
You know, that's the 5th or 6th penalty that Butler County has had. Well, Dixie, as far as in the first quarter only had 1. I believe that's the only penalty they've had the whole game.
Well, penalties and turnovers will kill you. And Butler County right now, they've thrown an interception and they've had many penalties that have cost them, great yardage.
So here we come out again. The 4 wide receivers with Johnson, the lone back. Cobb drops back to pass. And he's got Brennan.
Oh, Breeden, that was, Cody Wade saw that that's exactly who Cobb wanted to go to, but Breeden just stepped right in front of Cody Wade. Being a lot bigger than Cody Wade, was able to just move right in front of him and make that catch at about the 9-yard line and fall forward to about the 8.
Breeden definitely used his size on that. As you take another look at that.
So you could see right there that Breeden just stepped right in front of Cody Wade. You know, when you got a big wide receiver like that, he's got the ability to jump out in front of people.
We're going to have a timeout on the field as Kyle Olson calls for the timeout. That's got to make Coach Croshaw furious.
Well, here's an interesting first quarter stat for you. The net passing yards for Dixie is 123 yards, mostly with Ethan Ross's 92. Well, Butler County's is only 66. You know, that's going to keep jumping up as soon as Breeden gets going.
Pamper your soul and excite your senses as you prepare for the holidays with a twist. Wichita's new and unique gourmet food and gift shop in Old Town has hundreds of items for entertaining and gift-giving. With a Twist is brimming with fine, rich coffees, teas, chocolates, and foods from around the world. We specialize in elegant gift baskets and corporate gifts. Order online at foodandgifts.com or visit our store for the finest personal service imaginable. With a Twist, the new and exciting solution for your holiday shopping.
You don't have to be a skydiver to wear our clothing. You just have to have the spirit of those who live on the edge.
Take one more look at this Dixie crowd. Cheerleader crew is going to try to get them back into the game.
Maybe. Music stopped.
Yeah, in the first quarter, Rudy Johnson had 60 yards on 7 carries. He averaged about 8 yards every time he caught that, actually touched the ball, but he did have that one long run for 25 yards. For the Dixie Rebels, Tony Nelson leads the way with 22 yards on 6 carries. Aaron Sane had 4 yards on 1 carry, and Quinn Hampton had 3 yards on 2 carries. But no, Quinn Hampton has looked phenomenal. He's looked absolutely the best that he's looked all year in this first quarter.
I tell you, he obviously came prepared to play this game. One thing, though, Butler's been really balanced on the passing and running game so far.
Cobb hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson breaks through a couple tackles and able to get up to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.
Well, that second effort was all due to those powerful legs he has. He was most running backs will be brought down in the backfield, but Johnson able to break the tackle, get back up to the nearly the original line of scrimmage.
Actually, that was a loss of one on the play. So I'm not going to be able to get that right all day. But here comes Cobb. Number 7, that's Terrence Dean goes in motion. He hands off to Johnson, or to Dean.
It was on a nice reverse. Good play call there as they sent number 7, Terrence Dean, to the right side. He just made his way back, got the pitch out from Cobb. And, the great pursuit by Dixie. They'll go wherever watch the pursuit. They all go to the left side, with the exception Pellipoy is able to make it back, but, he's just unable to, actually Terrence Dean's just unable to turn the corner on Pellipoy.
So what do you call that? Is that a Statue of Liberty as we have a player down? Can't quite see who it is.
I think you just call it a reverse.
Yeah, well, I don't, I guess you can call it that if you want. I just want to think of a little more of a technical term,
I'm not getting very creative here.
Well, you think of something, Joe, and you let us know.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a reverse Statue of Liberty. Who knows?
Okay. Whatever.
Combine the two. Why not?
Joe has left the building.
I'm here, but my mind is somewhere else.
I don't know why.
Well, the Grizzlies are looking to get back in this game here. They've got 2 yards to go until they get into the end zone, but it is 3rd down.
We've got a man down as Pellipoy, as he did knock Terrence Dean out. Looked like either a knee or an ankle as he's being assisted off the field.
I believe it's some kind of a hamstring pull because they were trying to stretch it out, and it might just be a cramp, One of the things that you worry about a lot right now in the cold is keeping yourself warm, because, if your muscles start to cool down, then you suddenly try to make a break on the ball, you can easily hurt something very, very vital to you.
So here comes the Grizzlies as Dean goes in motion. And the give is the sweep out to Johnson, and Johnson's going to break in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Grizzlies.
I tell you, that last play really set that one up. Last time Dixie really attacked the ball. Take a look. You can see that this time on the replay, they were more trying to figure out where the ball was going. And by the time they figured out that Johnson was going to keep it, he was already in the end zone.
Terrence Dean had a beautiful block on Kyle Olson right inside of the goal line. And that was made it possible for Rudy Johnson just to jump into the end zone.
So number 18, Adam Stiles, is in to try for the extra point, and it's up, and it's good.
Oh, go ahead, Jim.
I was just going to say we've got a tie ball game here, 7-7.
Now that this stack formation, I don't know exactly what you call it. I like to call it the powerhouse formation that Butler County likes to run out of. They'll put 3 running backs in the backfield. And they like to play ball-controlled offense. You take another look at Johnson going into the end zone. That's exactly what Coach Steisenbach wanted to talk to me about earlier, or Steisenbeck. He said, they want to play ball control. They want to keep Dixie's defense out on the field as long as possible. And they're going to pound it down their throats, but he likes to, get into the situations where he can wear down that defensive front.
Well, it looks like we have 11 minutes left in the first half. The score is tied at 7. Butler County down there on the field jumping around, getting themselves pumped up for this kickoff.
So we've got Camila Black and Ethan Ross both back deep to receive for the Rebels. As Adam Stiles gets set to kick off for the Grizzlies.
I don't think I've seen this before where the team will just stay back and keep pumped up. Most of the time by now they would all be lined up, stepping around, making sure they've got their line straight. This Butler team, though, they're staying pumped. This team, I guess, has a lot of emphasis on energy.
Well, they didn't let themselves get down after Dixie came out strong and was able to score that quick touchdown, and they've had the presence of mind. Their defense has come out and done an excellent job in stopping the Dixie Rebel offense, and now their offense did a great job of being able to get 7 points on the board. Stiles' kick is up, and Ross is going to field it at the goal line. He runs it up as a hole, but then gets tripped up by number 9. That's David Rout.
Beautiful coverage there by the Grizzlies. Coach Schybest told me before the game, he really has to calm his players down. They get so much emotions running through them, they just go wild. But he says, you know, they do have to take a step back and realize they've got a football game to play. But yeah, shoelace tackle there by Route as he just trips up Ethan Ross.
So here comes the Dixie offense again, Quinn Hampton and company. And, they're going to line up in an I formation with two split out to the left. That's Ethan Ross and looks like Wyatt Gines.
So we've got Tony Jones in the game for Tony Nielsen.
Oh, big number 72. Jeremy Schufeld jumps off with a false start there.
You know, sometimes you get, it's like you were saying about how Butler coaching staff tries to keep their team on a little bit of a lower emotional level. As you say, it was a false start. But you get a little too emotional. Sometimes you lose your mental edge in the game. You become more susceptible to, you know, dirty talk, you know, in the pile, or you start to make mental mistakes. You want to go after people.
So this is going to be a 1st and 15. Hampton calls the play. He drops back to pass. He's being pursued. He breaks out to the left side. He's going to take it himself and get run out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage.
Great job by Hampton as he was running for his life. And great pursuit by the Grizzlies. They were just unable to catch Hampton. Watch here. He's got big number 41 just shooting in from the outside. He just keeps running. He picks up a block downfield here by his fullback. But he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. But good job by Quinn Hampton to know that he was under pressure just to tuck it up and go.
Well, that's one thing about Quinn Hampton I've noticed this year, that he doesn't get a lot of, he doesn't run a lot. The coaching staff hardly ever has him run the ball except for on a quick 1 or 2 yard quarterback sneak. But he's really got a lot of mobility.
Well, here he comes again. He's got Sane and Jones lined up in I formation behind him. Gines split out to the left and Ross split out to the right. And he fakes a sweep. He's looking. But he's going to run the ball.
Oh!
But he gets hit hard.
Oh! He got stuck, absolutely stuck there. He jumps right back up. But you saw him. He was stuck there by number 48, Michael Kendall from the Grizzlies.
But not before he picks up about 6 yards.
You know, he had nothing but green in front of him. Everybody was covered downfield. Picks up the first down, but just gets absolutely his clock clean by Kendall.
He get his clock clean or his clock broke right there.
Well, he's just back in the huddle. He's shaking it off.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 situation for the Rebels.
Well, this guy needs to get back on his own side. There's going to be a fight between mascots right now.
Well, he almost had one last time, but no college flag for it.
Well, the give is to Jones, and Jones breaks loose. And he picks up about 7 on the play for a 1st down.
Oh! Look at this down here. We got a full-on war. It's a BYU-Utah fight all over again.
No kidding.
Right, we got Rebels taking off with the flag. Randy Rebels taking off with the flag. The Butler County mascot suddenly realizes it, and he's going to go over and get his flag.
Yeah, let's see if the mascots have a standoff.
Oh, man, the crowd's more pumped about this than they have been about the game, man. This is great.
That flag is just getting thrown around. But back to the game.
You know, he tried to suplex that guy that tried to steal the flag. He just couldn't pick him up. He's a big boy.
Well, Hampton calls the play. He's going to hand it off to Jones. Jones just gets stuck right at the line. Gets taken back for loss of about 4.
Good job there by Stephen Williams as he saw that, you know, the handoff come through. He shot right through the line of scrimmage. Check him out here on the right side of your screen. Finds the hole, shoots it through. He's met there by number 34, Corey Brown, and number 5, Stephen Williams. Great linebacker play by the Grizzlies there.
Well, I guess with forward progress, it's only a loss of 1. So here comes the Rebels offense again. We've got Ross split out to the right and Anderson split out to the left in the 2nd and 11 play here. Hampton drops back to pass. He's looking for Ross, I think. Ross or Ware. They were both there. But he just kind of threw it in the middle of the both of them.
Jimmy, you're a terrific poet, man. I got to hand it to you.
Ross and Ware, they were both there. Quinn Hampton ended up on his backside that time. It's a very unfamiliar position for Hampton. He always has great protection by his offensive line. I know he gets knocked down sometimes, but you know, after a full season hits, I'm sure they take its toll, every one.
So here's a big play here for the Rebels here. They've got to make do on this one. It was 3rd and 11. As they line up in their typical I formation. Hampton drops back to pass. He's being pursued, and he's going to get... taken down by his own man.
He eluded the rush by number 42, Luke Parthamer, but then he just ran into big number 66 on the offensive line. There is a man down for the Butler County Grizzlies. Looks like number 55, Courtney Young, is down on the ground. So we have an official timeout on the field.
So that's
Dixie's, the defense for the Grizzlies is really starting to step it up. They're really letting nothing go here for the Rebels. As in the first quarter, it was all Rebels. You know, the Grizzlies are really lucky to be tied here, 7-7. They had that interception down on the 1-yard line. You know, Dixie really could have capitalized on that, but they went down, tried the fake field goal, went unsuccessful with that. So Dixie, unfortunately, hasn't been able to put more points on the board.
Well, it looks like Courtney Young's okay. He walked off the field on his own power.
Chris Anderson's set to punt it off for the Rebels. There's the kick. Low line drive. And he gets hit right away again by number 54. That's
With all the fun and flair you've come to expect, Piccadilly presents Pasta Night with a twist. Come in for dinner, served up just the way you love it. You pick your pasta and favorite additives. We create it, fresh, savory, and sizzling right before your eyes. And for those who can never get enough, there's Piccadilly Pasta Night West on Tuesday and East on Thursday. Piccadilly Pasta Night, because there's always Piccadilly.
This is Santa's Workshop. Happiest place in the world.
Okay, Cake Man, tell the boys and girls how many days there are until Christmas. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Here we come with 13 more days, boys and girls. Here we go, 13 more days. Whoa, 13 more days until Christmas, boys and girls. 1 3.
Hey, boys and girls, don't miss our special Santa's Workshop at 3 p.m. Christmas Eve, right here on ABC Kansas. Brought to you by Emprise Bank and the Dillon's Plus Shoppers Card.
Congratulations to James Shebest and the players and staff of the 2-time National Junior College Champion Butler County Grizzlies. Thanks for a great year and many more to follow. This message brought to you by Carlisle's Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated, your local York dealer. Carlisle's is the one-stop pro shop servicing of all of El Dorado and the surrounding area for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical needs. Congratulations to Butler County Community College.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
You know, great special teams play there by the Rebels, though. They've been doing that all year long.
So here comes the Grizzly offense again. Cobb, he gets set. 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. Cobb drops back to pass, almost intercepted.
Now, Solo Moanan, who's not known for his hands, but that one was right there, put perfectly in his hands. So who's this other guy we got down here? Is he a Butler County Grizzly, or what is he?
I don't know.
Coyote.
What does he want?
I don't know. Maybe just some guys. Hey, I'll come dress up for the game. Let's take a look at the replay. Moanan had it in his hands and bounced right out. And like we said earlier, you know, the weather's a little chilly out there, and that can't cool your hands down.
Here we go again, Grizzlies. Got the I formation. We give this to Johnson. Johnson breaks through a couple tackles. Finally gets pushed out of bounds.
The Rebels really need to wrap Johnson up at the legs. Don't let him keep those legs pumping. Let them come off the outside. Just brushes off number 51 and Dan Brigham. He just says he's got great balance for a running back. Just so thick.
It's like what they teach you in midget league football. You know, you got to hit low and wrap them up and take them down.
Whatever you want there. They don't take it when I.
You know, Rudy Johnson's 5'10", 220 pounds. That's a pretty low
got about 180 of it in his legs. He's huge.
How far do I got with this table?
So Cobbs dropping back to pass. He's got pursuit. He fires it. Oh! And number 4, Lance Stegman just slips right as the pass is coming to him.
Watch Kyle Olson here as Cobb rolls out to his right. He looks like he's headhunting over here to go to Stegman. He should have looked up. He maybe would have had a chance at the ball. Looks like he was going to Stegman's grill, trying to take it off.
Yeah, maybe that's why Stegman just fell to the ground. He's like, I'm not getting knocked out. Like, I got a game to play.
So that's going to bring on the punting unit for the Grizzlies. And Wyatt Gines is back deep to receive for the Rebels. That's a high, great kick. Gines picks it up at a 5-yard line. And he runs it back to about the 22-yard line.
You know, I've been really impressed as he got a couple of late flags at the end of the play. But, you know, I've been really impressed with both these punting teams' coverage units. They've both been terrific, and the punter's been kicking well, too.
I talked to, when I was talking to Coach Scheibest before this afternoon's game, he mentioned that both teams on the special teams units are just solid on both sides of the ball, whether it's the kicking, the punting, the return teams. He says he didn't expect any mistakes out of either one of them.
Take a look at that punt. That's a line drive punt. That thing just flew almost all the way past Gines. He had to go back a good 10 yards to get it.
You know, that was a low liner. One thing as a punter you never want to do is out-kick the punt unit. You know, you got to keep that ball high enough that they can get down the field and make it so that nothing happens there with Gines.
Well, it looks like both the penalties offset each other as you take a look at, I believe that's some rocks.
That was quite the shot.
Really
Dixie
exciting
lines
shot.
up in the I formation. As Hampton drops back to pass. He's looking for Gines. He hits him for a pickup about 3.
You know, in the last couple of plays, Hampton has looked deep. He just hasn't had anybody open. This time they go with the possession play here, just to move the ball forward. And he looks over and got Gines, but he had great protection on that line of scrimmage again by his offensive line. Butler County really needs to get more pursuit up the middle from their defensive tackles.
So Chris Anderson brings the play into the Rebels. Come out of their huddle, get set to do it again. Got 6 minutes and 51 seconds left to play, and Hampton drops back to pass, and he's gonna take it himself. He's got running room. He takes it up to about the 36-yard line. Then there's a late hit out of bounds. That's going to be a costly mistake for the Grizzlies there.
The Grizzlies had Mark Strickland and Stephen Williams deep back in the Dixie bench. That's not a good place to be when you just had a personal foul against you. You just had a late hit.
Well, that's right before on the punt return. There was offsetting personal foul calls here, and now Butler County's going to have another one called on them.
I tell you, retaliation isn't going to do anything good for you. Even if someone does something to you before, usually the guy that retaliates is the one who's going to get the flag.
I tell you, last night there was in the Marshall Western Michigan game, there was a late hit out of bounds on Chad Pennington, which cost the game, which put Marshall into scoring position, which caused them to win the game with 7 seconds left on the clock. And so that kind of stuff can really hurt you, especially in these kind of championship games.
Well, you really always got to be thinking out there exactly what situation you're in. You're moving close to the end of the first half here. Dixie's trying to put something together. You don't want to give them anything that they didn't earn.
So Hampton lines up with his I formation. And, he's going to hand it off to Sane. Sane's got lots of running room, and then finally gets tripped up by number 9. That's David Rout.
Now Aaron Sane, he has been constantly hurt all year as he walks off the field again. Looks like he screwed his shoulder up.
Looks like it was either his shoulder or the hand. He was kind of holding his arm steady.
It is his shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like
they're trying to place it, reset it.
Has he been playing with the separated shoulder all year? I mean, he has for quite a while. He's really put his heart and soul into everything, but throughout the year, he's just been banged up a lot. It looks like they're working on that shoulder down there.
So here comes Dixie in their I formation. There's movement on the line there.
That's a false start. I tell you, Brett Hogan was back in the defense for Butler County. long before anything happened.
Now this really is a great day for football. It's just beautiful outside. Football weather.
It's not too breezy.
Well, let's see if we can find out what happens to Aaron Sane. Let's see if we can. It looks like trying to get a look there of what happened to his shoulder.
It's
Still
separated.
working on it.
They're probably trying to pop it back into place here.
Yeah.
That doesn't look fun.
So with the penalty, that's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Don't do it no more. Get it off there. That's terrible. People are getting sick. Jim's throwing up. Joe's going to throw up.
It's going to be a sweep
I'm telling everybody how sick it is.
to give us the number 25. That's Camila Black. And, he looks like he makes it back up to the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, Butler all of a sudden is just coming out and playing hard. It looks like they know where the blame's going. All right, let's take a look, see if we can find out what happens to Sane's shoulder. Now watch right here at the end of the play. He does kind of get his arm knocked out from under. It looks like it might have pulled that arm a little bit out of the socket there.
He came right down on
it. He fell right on it as he was hit. Let's not go back to that. That's too bad. I don't like seeing that.
So here comes Hampton dropping back the pass, and he's just total pursuit by the defense of the Butler County Grizzlies.
Well, that was Corey Brown coming in after the assisted tackle, coming in to assist on the sack. Take a look here on the replay. Hampton, he has an all-out blitz coming at him. It dodges the first one, but gets two people coming from behind, Sean Smith and Corey Brown, and they both just take him down. He had nowhere to go with the ball.
Well, there's a flag to stop this punt. I'm not sure what that call is.
It looks like we might have too many men on the field. I'm not sure what that is. There's a good look at that mascot, who we have no clue what he's really there for.
It's Coyote, Cowboy Coyote.
What was the call on that?
I didn't hear.
Illegal substitution.
Yeah, that.
We got our own referee back behind us. He's throwing the flags as they throw them.
So Chris Anderson gets set to kick the ball off from 10 yards behind the original line of scrimmage.
Now, what is this guy? He's got his own personal bodyguard behind him.
I really don't know.
So Anderson gets one of his typical high, long kicks. Fair catch called. And he almost drops it.
Now that's going to be a Brock Condy didn't give him any room to make that grab, so they're going to call a flag on Condy. That'll set him up. I think it's a 10-yard penalty. A beautiful kick by Anderson.
Let's see right here at the end of the play. You see call for the fair catch, but there was people all over him. They're not going to let you get away with that. He did fumble the ball at the end, so it wasn't on Robothon. I know that for sure.
That was the call, exactly what Mike said. It's the Butler County fans, they really like that.
Well, the Dixie coaching staff really doesn't like the call.
Well, it's Rodney Rebels down there kicking their little ref dummy. So here we go at the 34-yard line as the Grizzlies get set.
You know, the refs take too much heat. They just try to call it fair.
The sweep to Johnson, and Johnson breaks a few tackles. He breaks loose. He's got plenty of running room. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Butler.
You know, he gets 6 yards before he's even hit, and nobody wraps him up. Rudy Johnson can put together these 50, 60-yard runs. He's got the speed. He's got the balance. He's got all the tools that a halfback needs. He's definitely just strong.
That was a great job. He got out, and there were 3 people in front of him, but he was sprung open by Sam Breeden as he made a block on the closest guy to the tackle. Sprung him loose. He was able to get in the end zone.
Yeah, Breeden made a great block on Cody Wade as he took down 2 defenders.
So Styles is in to try for the extra point for the Grizzlies. And he gets it up, and it's good. So 14-7, Grizzlies.
Well, now the momentum has shifted back over to the Grizzlies side. Dixie's offense, once again, is sputtering right now. They just haven't been able to put anything together. So they've got got to keep their spirits up. They've got to go out and work hard.
I tell you, this is probably the first huge test of heart that Dixie's had this year. So far in this season, they've dominated everyone they've played. This is the first team that can really keep up with them. I'm really interested to see how Dixie will handle it before they go into the half, as we only have 3:55 left in the game. Grizzlies on top by 7.
Well, if you remember back to the first game that they played against Tyler, Texas, here at Hanson Stadium, they were actually down the entire first half, and the second half they really broke it open. They only won the game, I believe it was 14-7. But, you know, Quinn Hampton got the offense back, and, you know, it all started from there. So this Butler County team, you don't want to fall behind. That defense is so good that they can hold you.
You don't want to give them any more momentum than they've already got out there. You could see just how pumped their whole side of the field is. No wonder these coaches have to keep their guys kind of, you know, turn them down a little bit.
Well, they had their fans come all the way from Kansas. They got a lot over there, and they came all the way to Kansas. We didn't have fans like this come up from Arizona or even come down from, like, Ephraim. And
this is the national championship game. You got to expect that people are going to want to come, you know.
Well, Styles gets set to kick it off to Black, and Ross are back deep to receive for the Rebels. As it's going to go to Black, and he mishandles the reception and runs in to Pitt, his own man, and gets taken down at the 5-yard line.
That was just a terrible job that time. This is really the first time I've actually been kind of scared for Dixie so far this season. I mean, they're starting to lose their whole edge of the game. Black drops the kickoff, and he actually runs into Pitts, his own man, taken down at about the 7-yard line.
Well, this is where Quinn Hampton needs to take over. He needs to go in the huddle, say, look, guys, we need to calm down. We need to, you know, pull it together. Let's get something positive here, because things are really starting to fall apart here in the second quarter.
They really need to pull back the memories of their first drive and do the same thing that they did there. So Hampton, he's going to drop back to pass from the end zone. He's got Ross. Ross spins around, gets taken down at about the 19-yard line. It's going to be close to the first down.
You know, watching that play, Hampton had Ross in mind the whole time, as we have about 3:36 left in the first half. You can see Hampton's eyes following Ross the whole time. He knew. See, watch his eyes right here. He's looking directly to Ross the whole time. He knows he's going to be able to get himself up with that great speed that he has.
Well, Ross has been the man thus far in the game for receiving for Dixie.
Well, he's been their deep threat man all season long.
So here comes Hampton. He's going to sweep it out to Tony Jones. It's going to be a reverse to Ross, and Ross breaks through and gets taken down for a loss of a big loss of about 10.
Carl Witherspoon just did exactly what he needed to. He played his assignment. His assignment on that play was containment. Make sure nobody gets outside of him. Jones gives it to Ethan Ross on the outside, but look how Witherspoon makes Ross turn it back in. Great job there by Witherspoon.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 18 for the Dixie Rebels, as their offense has not been able to get the job done.
Now, Coach even Shabazz said earlier, he just said, you know, sometimes I think the weakness on this offense is, you know, sometimes they fall apart.
Well, Hampton's dropping back to pass. He's looking for Ross, and Ross has a great effort trying to get there, diving for it, but just not able to get there.
Well, Michael Kendall, at the end of the play, just picked up Hampton, threw him down in the end zone. You know, Hampton had to get rid of that ball, or it would have been a safety.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and way long
You
for
can
the Rebels.
almost sense a sense of urgency out there by the Rebels that they need to make something happen here. They just seem a little flat, but they know that they've got to pick it up. They've got to get a score, at least 3 here, before we go into the second half.
There's 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to play.
Looks like he's going to have a timeout.
Some kind of stoppage of play by the referees.
You know, I think these officials are just, they want to be on TV a lot. That's why they're getting all these flags and timeouts. They know the cameras follow them.
Well, the play clock was down to 0 when they blew the whistle. Maybe it just wasn't reset after the previous play. It has been reset now.
No flags were thrown, so as we get the go-ahead to start the game back up.
Maybe the refs are working on an acting career. Who knows?
They don't get paid by how many flags they throw, that's for sure. But apparently, They just like to be seen on TV.
So Hampton. Oh! Almost a great catch by Anderson.
Bobby Patterson, I believe that Anderson had it in his hands, but Bobby Patterson at the end of the play reached in there and knocked it right out as it's 4th down.
You know, if you remember back to the first quarter, watch here, Bobby Patterson, great coverage on Anderson. Hampton couldn't have thrown the ball any better, put it right where it needed to be. But Bobby Patterson was the victim of Ross's early catches in the first half, or actually in the first quarter.
Oh, looks like Butler's going to come with a block punt formation.
Well, they've got him pinned back deep. Now Anderson takes a couple strides when he does punt the ball.
Well, Anderson gets a spiraling punt.
Oh.
And that's fielded by number 21.
That's a
And
block
he's
in the
going back.
Now it's going to all come back for nothing because we got a block in the back as Brock Conde was knocked down. He'll take it to the 31. But Butler County's better calm down. It's coming all back. The yellow flag tells it all.
I tell you though, that punt was a perfect punt. It was a perfect spiral the whole time. I mean, it hardly even looked like a throw.
Looked like a pass.
Stride for stride.
He's got a foot like Quinn Hampton has a leg. Take a look at that spiral. You can see it a little bit there on your screen. It's almost perfect.
Watch on the right side of your screen. There's the block in the back as Conde goes flying out of the screen.
That's a perfect reception by Ham, too.
Well, it's kind of hard to drop a pass if that's a kick that's that perfectly kicked.
So that is brought way back.
You know, Dixie defense needs to step it up right here. They can't afford to fall down by 2 scores to this Butler team going into the second half.
So there's 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to play in the half as the Grizzlies offense comes back on the field starting at their own 29-yard line.
You know, the Grizzly defense has really made the adjustments thus far to stop that Dixie offense, and now it's up to our defense to make the adjustments to stop this offense of the Grizzlies.
So Cobb drops back to pass. He's looking for Breeden. Breeden's open, and he makes the catch and goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
Well, we knew Breeden was big. Now we know he's fast. He outran Cody Waite the whole time. He got way out in front of him. Waite had no chance to look back for the ball. He had to exert all of his concentration on catching up with Breeden. By the time he did catch up with him, Breeden already had the ball and just had to take a couple of steps out of bounds. Take a look here on the replay. You can see Cobb saying he knew that Breeden had his man beat. He just waited a couple of seconds, aired the ball out, let Breeden get in front of it.
You know, if he would have hit Breeden stride for stride, they would have put 6 more points real quick on the board. Now here they come with that powerhouse formation.
So Cobb gives it to Johnson. Johnson breaks nothing.
Scott broke.
Breaks his leg, maybe.
He picks up about a half a yard. Take a look at the Dixie bench and coaches.
So you take a look right here. Look at how the Dixie Rebels just adjust to the ball. They come up and just make a tackle. There was a huge hole in front of Johnson, but Dixie closes so quick. That linebacking and defensive line crew is so quick. They can close on the ball in not like in about 5/10 of a second maybe.
So Cobb gives it to Johnson again. Johnson has a huge hold, break up through. He could go all the way. Touchdown.
That was a great cutback move by Johnson. It looked like he was going to be tackled on the inside. He was able to plant his feet and make a cut to the outside. That was a terrific move by Johnson. Another 6 points to go on the board.
You know, this Dixie defense looks rattled out there. They look like they have no answer for Rudy Johnson. Rudy Johnson is making his case for the MVP for today. And you know, the Butler crowd is real happy to see Rudy Johnson breaking free. I would imagine Rudy Johnson's close to about 150, 200 yards. I'd say a little over 150 for the first half.
So Stiles kicks the extra point, and that's good. So 21-7, Grizzlies.
Dixie has to come out and score on this drive. They can't afford to turn the ball over one more time. As you take a look at, the
defense.
replay.
They're just walking around.
That cutback move right there just sprung him loose, and Dan Brigham wasn't able to catch up to him. Waltzes right into the end zone. That's I believe that's his second touchdown of the day.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 21-7 with 1 minute and 14 seconds left to play here. As Dixie needs to get something happening here.
I think Rudy Johnson's got them all. I think he's got all 3 touchdowns for the Grizzlies.
I tell you though, this Butler team in the second quarter has come out and they look like they want the championship more than Dixie does right now. That's kind of the thing when you're the underdog coming into a game, you're looking to win, not just hold on long enough to get that trophy. And Dixie right now looks like they're kind of on their heels. They need to dig in, come back and score at least a field goal right here so they don't fall too far behind going into the half.
They got 1 minute 14 left here in the first half. They definitely need a score here. They need to score this so they can walk into the locker room saying, hey, we can get this done. We're still in this ball game.
Well, when you have Ethan Ross's ability to open up over the middle, you know that you have the ability to score and you've got plenty of time to score if you're Dixie. The only problem is that Butler is going to know that you want to go to Ethan Ross or to Aaron Ware. They're going to be looking to key up those guys at least double coverage the whole way down.
I tell you, this game is far from over, though. Last night, I hate to keep bringing up the Western Michigan game, but Marshall was down 20-0 at halftime, and came back and won that game.
You really like Marshall, don't you?
Well, my dad went to Marshall, so I have to go out and throw them their props. It's fielded by Cody Waite. Cody Waite breaks through a couple of tackles and brings it up to about the 20-yard line, but it's fumbled. It looks like Butler County is coming up with it. At least that's what they're saying, and the refs are saying it too.
Cody Waite absolutely just got jolted there. I know he's seeing stars now.
Okay, that is the last thing that Dixie could have hoped to possibly do. I mean, that is the worst thing that could possibly happen to him right now. Now, Butler is in field goal position. They've got 1 minute 5. They just have to run the ball a few times. Either score a touchdown or just run the ball in, kick a field goal, and go into halftime.
Dixie's going to have to go into the locker room in this halftime and make some serious adjustments on offense. They need to look over and see exactly what Butler County's been doing on defense. What they've been doing is they've been pressuring Quinn Hampton every time he has the ball on offense.
So they give us to Johnson. Johnson breaks through a couple tackles, and he's still on his feet. Finally gets taken down after a gain of about 8.
Johnson's looking like Superman out there, and Dixie's just not able to do anything. He's giving him a little shake, a little bake here, pulls it up. Watch here. I mean, you got everyone around there. Dan Brigham, Kyle Olson holds on for dear life. Danny Robinson holds on for dear life, and they barely drag him down.
Well, Johnson is a sophomore from Colonial Heights, Virginia, I believe. And, most likely he's going to go to a high-quality 1A school next year with the kind of running he's been putting on today.
Anton Palafoy has checked back into the game for the Rebels after suffering that hamstring injury, or it probably was just a cramp. But things are not looking good here for the Dixie Rebels as they trail 21-7. They have 21 unanswered points as the Grizzlies have marched down for 3 touchdowns, all accounted by Rudy Johnson.
This Butler team right now, they're really looking like they want the championship a lot more than Dixie does. They're coming out, they're fired up.
Well, I tell you, Dixie's going to get a talking to during halftime from Coach Croshaw. And
I don't know if talking is quite a scary enough word.
Talk all you want. I don't think Croshaw knows how to talk when they're trailing.
Well, here comes the Grizzly offense. Cobb gives it to Johnson again, but Johnson's going to throw it. And, overthrows his man in the end zone.
That was kind of an interesting play call when you have 44 and a half seconds left here in the first half. And you decide to throw the ball. I guess they were just trying to get a quick score, but I don't know if you're Butler that you really go for the end zone.
I definitely
with the
go
pass,
for the end zone. Rudy Johnson's got 3 scores on the day. He's been a superhuman. What a way to do it other than have him throw the ball. You set up the run. Everybody thinks, hey, he's coming with the run. Beautiful read by Kyle Olson. He didn't let his man get behind him.
That was a pretty good pass by him, too.
There's Cobb dropping back to pass. and he's going to get pass interference as Breeden was open, had the ball, and but it is going to be pass interference.
Breeden is just so much bigger and taller than Cody Wade. It's almost impossible for Wade just to be on him man-on-man coverage. I think, is it going against Breeden?
It looks like it.
I don't know if that should go against Breeden. It looked like he was the one going for the ball, and that Wade was just going for him, trying to keep his hands away from it. But it does look like it's going to go against Butler County.
Now, Dixie just needs to stop, and they can't even afford to give up 3 points here. You know, it's a 2-score ball game. That's great. 3 scores, you know, that's really tough to come back on. You know, but Dixie was very, very effective in the first quarter. But you know, the one thing they've got to be kicking themselves about is not converting on that interception where they stopped Butler County deep into their own zone, and they were able to pull it back and drive it down to the 20-yard line. They just couldn't get it in from there.
Well, that marches them back 15 yards, and so if they're able to make a quick stop here, and that's going to be a tough field goal for even the Butler County Grizzlies.
As the Cobb rolls out, he's going to throw over the top.
Oh!
That is caught.
You know, Pat Baker got caught looking at the quarterback's eyes as he just lost track of his man, number 81, Brock Weaver.
Take a look at the protection that Cobb has. He's able to get the ball right where it needs to be. And unfortunately, his man just falls over just right in front of the end zone.
Well, there's 30 seconds.
Actually, it's Arnold that was on that catch. So, big stop needs to be done here inside 20 seconds.
Johnson gets it, and he gets in for a touchdown.
Well, you can see Cobb right there at the end of the play. He had his arms up in the air long before Johnson was in the end zone. He knew it was going in.
So, that brings up 27-7, and tough break for the Rebels here, as the Rebels are falling behind here by 3 scores. As Stiles comes in to try for the extra point.
You know, the half isn't over yet. There's still 15 and about a half second left.
You know, Dixie's got to know this game is not over. They're still in this game. They're down to a very good team, the Grizzlies, but Dixie's a good team themselves. You don't go 11-0 in a year and not be a good team. You can come back and answer.
Right, I agree.
I tell you, we got a flag on the field. Over on the Butler side of the ball. You know, with 15 seconds left in the game, there's time. You can see right there as Johnson goes into the end zone on that last play.
Now, these guys have, Dixie's not out of this ball game. They're 3 scores behind, but, you know, Butler County clearly has dominated this second quarter of the football game. They were outplayed in the first quarter. Dixie was unable to capitalize on some mistakes that Butler County made. And now Butler County's capitalizing on every mistake that Dixie makes.
Well, you know, this half isn't over yet. Dixie just has to get in decent field position on this kickoff return. And then, you know, with the speed of Ethan Ross in the hands of Aaron Ware, they're still in good shape here. They can still score before the half ends.
So Waite and Ross are back deep to receive for the Rebels. As the ball goes to Waite, who fumbled it on the last one, he takes it up. And he breaks through a hole and still on his feet, and finally is taken out at the 31-yard line with 8.5 seconds left to play in this half.
Well, there's still plenty of time for at least 2 more passes. As you take another look at this kickoff. Now watch Waite right here as he comes up, and he's hit right about there, but he just doesn't go down. He just keeps breaking tackles like crazy, fighting people off. getting all the way up to about the 30-yard line.
You know, Butler County's going to go to this prevent defense, so they don't want anybody to get behind them. But I think if you're Dixie, don't just kneel on the ball. Let's take a couple shots here.
I agree, Mike. I think that the best thing to go right now would be to throw a quick one of those screens to Ethan Ross again and get some of your linemen out in front to hit some of these DBs back in the prevent coverage.
Well, get it into your skilled positions player's hands and let him do the work with the ball. That's a lot what the wide receiver screen is. Let your playmakers make the big plays here.
Well, Dixie still has one timeout left.
Yeah, you usually want to keep that one timeout until you get in field goal position so you can let the clock run down.
Well, Hampton drops back to pass, and he's looking. He's a lot of time going up the clock. He's looking for Jones. Jones gets up there for the catch, but there's no time left on the clock, so that brings up halftime.
Well, I guess
good job by Jones coming back to the ball, but it's too little, too late.
But Dixie does trail by 21 points here, 28-7 to the visiting Butler County Grizzlies. We'll be back to bring you the second half of the ball game. This game is brought to you. This broadcast is copyrighted by KAKE TV, the community education channel, and any reproduction is strictly prohibited without express written consent from KAKE Television. So we'll be back for the second half. Dixie trails 28-7 here for the national championship against the Butler.
With all the fun and flair you've come to expect, Piccadilly presents Pasta Night with a twist. Come in for dinner, served up just the way you love it. You pick your pasta and favorite add-ins. We create it, fresh, savory, and sizzling right before your eyes. And for those who can never get enough, there's Piccadilly Pasta Night West on Tuesday and East on Thursday. Piccadilly Pasta Night, because there's always Piccadilly.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
With all the fun and flair you've come to expect, Piccadilly presents Pasta Night with a twist. Come in for dinner, served up just the way you love it. You pick your pasta and favorite add-ins. We create it, fresh, savory, and sizzling right before your eyes. And for those who can never get enough, there's Piccadilly Pasta Night West on Tuesday and East on Thursday. Piccadilly Pasta Night, because there's always Piccadilly.
Welcome back to Dixie College, where the Dixie Rebels are down by 21 points to the Butler County, what are they again? They're the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. That's right. I keep on wanting to say Badgers for some reason. I don't know. Well, anyway, the first quarter stats were totally in Dixie's favor, but according to our halftime stats, why can't I not remember that?
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies have 335 total yards, while Dixie has 207. And the passing and rushing yards for Butler County are almost dead even at 168 rushing and 167 passing yards. And Mike, what's going on here?
Dixie's just getting beat on the ball in defense. They're turning this Rudy Johnson. He's just playing like an All-American out there, showing why he's one of the top runners in the nation. He's looking to go to Auburn or Colorado next year for a Division I school. But he's a force to be reckoned with. We're not tackling out there. We're trying to arm tackle him. We're not trying to wrap up and drive him into the ground. We're not making those guys work out there. They're making us work for everything that we do. But our offense is just we're not. You talked about they had 330 some odd yards total offense. We have 207. And we're just not very balanced. We haven't stuck with our running game. We've just been passing the ball. Quinn Hampton has 167 yards passing, but our rushing attack is under 50 yards rushing.
Well, Dixie came out really strong in the first quarter in their first drive and scoring a touchdown and opening up early. But since then, they really haven't done a whole lot. It's been all Butler County since then, with the score obviously being 28-7. But Dixie needs to come out here. They need to make a quick stop. They're going to kick the ball off to the Butler County Grizzlies, and they need to make a quick stop. Their defense has to come out big and be able to get the ball back into the offense's hand. And the offense has got to come out, and they've got to be strong. They've got to do what they did in the first quarter, pass the ball, and be able to get the ball into the hands of Aaron Ware and Ethan Ross, the guys that have been doing it all season long.
Yeah, you mentioned Aaron Ware. He's almost non-existent in this game. 2 catches for 17 yards. Being an All-American throughout the year, you expect more for him. They've really been trying to isolate Ethan Ross one-on-one with the cornerback, and anytime that you can get Aaron Ware locked up with the linebackers, 9 times out of 10, Aaron Ware is going to win the battle there. I really expect them to go to Aaron Ware some more.
Another interesting statistic for you, Rudy Johnson in the first quarter only had 60 yards rushing, but in the second quarter he rushed for 100 yards, bringing his total up to 160 just in the first half. So it's about a minute to go here before we start the kickoff back here at Dixie College.
And another thing that the Grizzlies have been very effective on is their blitzing packages they've been coming with. They've been sending the linebackers and the outside linebackers everywhere. They've been walking a safety up and rushing them, but they've just been acting like they want it more ever since that first touchdown. They put them ahead 14-7 here on Rudy Johnson's run. They haven't looked back. They continue to go right at Dixie. Dixie's kind of hanging their head. They've kind of played dead the whole the second quarter.
Well, if you look at Dixie right now, look at their kickoff unit out there right now. They're looking pretty pumped and ready to go. They got their hands clapping, and they're just ready to go. I think that they're coming out in this second half, and they're going to do the things that they need to do, the things that they've been doing all year long. And we'll see if it's not too little, too late.
Dixie only has 7 points.
This is Santa's Workshop. Happiest place in the world.
Okay, Cake Man, tell the boys and girls how many days there are until Christmas. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Here we come with 13 more days, boys and girls. Here we go, 13 more days. Whoa, 13 more days until Christmas, boys and girls. 1 day.
Hey, boys and girls, don't miss our special Santa's Workshop at 3 p.m. Christmas Eve, right here on ABC Kansas. Brought to you by Emprise Bank and the Dillon's Plus Shoppers Card.
With all the fun and flair you've come to expect, Piccadilly presents Pasta Night with a twist. Come in for dinner, served up just the way you love it. You pick your pasta and favorite add-ins. We create it, fresh, savory, and sizzling right before your eyes. And for those who can never get enough, there's Piccadilly Pasta Night West on Tuesday and East on Thursday. Piccadilly Pasta Night, because there's always Piccadilly.
Wichita, Kansas, Eastgate Mall, living mildly behind the glitz and glamour of the Sweet Things storefront lives Mr. Futon.
Hello.
Don't be intimidated. Mr. Futon is here to serve. Come in today for the area's best selection of versatile, functional futons at affordable prices.
Don't forget the beanbags.
Sweet Things has bunk bed futons, metal frame futons, even a 4-piece bedroom set for under $500.
Even great when your mother-in-law comes to visit.
Go on. Come visit Mr. Futon at Sweet Things today.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
Congratulations to James Shebest and the players and staff of the 2-time National Junior College champion Butler County Grizzlies. Thanks for a great year and many more to follow. This message brought to you by Carlisle's Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated, your local York dealer. Carlisle's is the one-stop pro shop servicing of all of El Dorado and the surrounding area for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical needs. Congratulations to Butler County Community College.
So bringing back to return Blackwell's kick as we get ready to start off the second half. The kick is up, it's on its way, it's a short kick, going to land about the 20-yard line. It's going to be returned by number 81, and he's going to be brought down at the 22-yard line as Monty Bundy returned the short kick and was brought down by 60 special teams.
Moalapu did a great job of getting his hands onto the feet of Brock Weaver and just brought him down. And so a great job by the kickoff unit of Dixie.
Dixie needs to make a big stand here. They need to force Butler into a 3-and-out situation so they can get some momentum back on their side. I know Butler County is just, just licking their chops. They're ready to go right back at it, though.
So Butler out of the power formation, set to start off their drive. It's going to be a quick handoff to the fullback up the middle. He's going to get about 9 yards out of the play as number 23, Daryl Jones, brings the ball up to about the 32-yard line.
Well, Johnson has those powerful legs like we talked about a lot about in the first half, and just keeps them pumping and moving, and that's the way that he's able to drive up and get nine yards on that play.
Johnson is just making it look so easy out there against this Dixie defense. Nobody has been able to do this against this Dixie front.
Now we have the stacked eye formation. Number 7 is going to go in motion. Dean goes in motion. It's going to be a quick handoff up the middle for the first down, as I believe that was Daryl Jones again.
Actually, I think it was number 33,
actually, yeah, right.
Ruben Logan.
Once again, Mike, you're right.
This, well, when am I not right? No. Now, this Butler County, they're really going to play control offense in the second half. I don't look to them to go to the air very much, only to keep the defense honest. They're going to continue to pound this ball down the throat to the Dixie Rebel defense.
Well, 2 wide receivers going to the left side. That is Stegman and Breeden. Cobb over the center. Quick pitch back to Johnson. Johnson's going to cut up the hole. He's going to break tackles. He's breaking all the way. He's loose. He's going to get to the 30, about to the 25, the 20, the 10. And he's finally brought down by Cody Waite.
Now, they've been attacking that right side of the defense all day, going right at Dan Brigham, forcing him to make plays. And once again, he tries to go up high on Johnson. You're not going to take Johnson up high. You can't just wrap your arms around him and hope that he falls in. You've got to take his legs out. But the kid has he's well balanced. You can hit him and you'll knock him back, but he keeps his balance and just keeps trucking.
So after Johnson was knocked out at the 25, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
I tell you, he just breaks through like a freight train.
Got the legs the size of a freight train. So we have Dean in the backfield replacing Johnson. Now Dean's going to get the pitch. He's going to break out the outside. He's got the route. He's breaking tackles all the way up to the 11-yard line before he's finally tripped up and brought down.
You can't expect to win a ball game. Every time they touch the ball, they get a first down or 9 yards. You cannot expect to even stay in a ball game. If they score here, it's getting a little out of hand. 4 touchdowns is a lot of touchdowns to make up, especially when your offense hasn't been doing anything.
And especially when the defense isn't doing anything now.
Yeah, this is not Dixie Rebel football right now.
So Dean remains in the backfield with Ronnie Arnold and Sam Breeden, the wide outs. Cobb pitches back to Dean again. Dean's going to cut up the field, but he's going to be brought down for a loss by number 56, Philip Allred, as he reads the play the whole way, fighting off his tackler, bringing Dean down in the backfield.
Allred did a great job of breaking through the offensive line and being able to be set there for that play. Just did a great job.
His responsibility on that outside of the end there is to make sure that the play stays within his reach. Don't let anybody outside. He did a great job fighting off his would-be blocker.
So we have Stegman and Breeden to the left side, I formation behind Cobb. Cobb's going to fake the pitch, fake the handoff. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw over the middle to his tight end, but it's tipped away at the last second.
Allred's all over the place. He's dropping back in coverage. He's making people hit him. He's sacking people behind the line of scrimmage.
So Allred's trying to do it all by himself here, and that does a great job of getting there and being able to block down that pass. That brings up a 3rd and long situation.
Look at that. Just outreaches his hand. That was a touchdown pass all the way. Good job there by Philip Allred, though.
So now with the pro formation behind Cobb, with Johnson back in the game, 3 wide receivers on the field. Cobb drops back to pass. He's got time. He's got a man opening up. He's going to throw it back to Johnson as a screen to the right side. He's going to break it up. That's a touchdown as Johnson just waltzes in with nobody in front of him.
Excellent job by the Grizzlies there, and especially by Cobb. And he breaks out to the left, and he turns around. Johnson's right there for that screen pass, and no one is on that side of the field even close to even being able to tackle Johnson.
You know, that's just over pursuit by the Rebels. Not nobody stayed, nobody contained, nobody stayed with their man. So that was easy touchdown for Rudy Johnson as he gets his 5th touchdown of the game.
Adam Stiles set to kick the extra point. It's up and it's good. So the score is now 35-7 with 12:23 left to go in the 3rd quarter. You know, Mike, what can the Rebels possibly do to try to get back in this game?
Nothing. They are they're hanging their heads down there. They've got to come out, and their offense has got to show that they can do something. Every time down, they've gotten 3rd and 13, 3rd and 16. They're hurting themselves with penalties. They're missing blocks. You know, Quinn Hampton's under a lot of pressure. Special teams need to make a play right now. Cody Wade or Ethan Ross need to take this ball, and they need to move it up the field. You know, get this crowd back on their feet, get them into the game, and you know, let the offense go back to work.
Well, these Grizzlies can feel it. They've got all the momentum in their favor. Dixie needs to do something to shift that momentum. If they want to even have a chance in this game, they've got to do something here, and they've got to do it fast.
So as Butler sets to kick the ball away.
No, this is not what I expected with Butler County coming to Dixie to play here. This is, I don't know. Hopefully maybe the offense made some adjustments in there at halftime. They come out and show that they can move the ball effectively down the field, put together a good drive here.
Well, you know, one thing about that, it's been Dixie's defense. It's really been their saving grace when they start to get behind, and their defense played terrible on that last drive. So with Stiles kicking the ball away, it's a deep kick well into the end zone. Waite is going to recover it. He's got the blockers ahead of him. He's going to try to break to the outside. Cut off field. He's got room. He's going to break it to the outside again before he's finally brought down by number 8, Charles Berry.
Well, that's exactly what the Rebels needed. They needed somebody to make a big play. That's the big play they need. Hopefully it can carry them, carry this offense, pick them up. Hey, say, hey, these guys are, you know, we can score on them. They scored on them early in the game. They haven't done much. Good job here by Cody Waite, though.
You know, one thing about teams that are really emotional, when you break their emotional high, you know, they start to get back on their heels. So back to the action, out of the I formation. Hampton over the center. Hampton drops back. He's looking for a quick hitch route. It's not there. He's going to have to take off. He's looking for Ross. He's got him wide open. Ross is going to try to break the tackle. He gets up to about the 39-yard line.
Great poise by Quinn Hampton as he felt the rush on his backside, turned around, ran the other way. Ethan Ross and him communicated. I think Hampton wanted Ross to go deep, but Ross just turned around for that little hitch. You know, picks up a first down. So they're moving the ball.
Well, you know, the quarter was expecting for Ross to go deep as well, but Ross doing exactly what you're supposed to do, come back to the quarterback when he's in trouble.
But you've got to show that you can run the ball. You've got to keep this defense honest.
So with Nielsen and Jones behind Hampton, Hampton drops back to pass. He's got time. He's going to let it loose for Ross. Ross can't get there, though. It's just in front of him as he had his man beat. Wasn't able to get to the ball in time.
You know, the Butler County only sent 3 men back for coverage. It was a man-on-man. They came with a heavy blitz. And Quinn Hampton just laid the ball up, hoping that he left it high enough for Ross to be able to run up under, but just not enough air under that ball.
We'll take another look at that. If you watch Ross's feet, he was just, you can't really see it, but he was pedaling and pumping as fast as he could to try and catch up with that ball. Just couldn't quite get there.
So Ross and Gines will split out with the pro formation behind Hampton. Hampton drops back to pass. He's got a little pressure. He's going to throw over the middle to, I believe that's
Aaron Ware.
I believe that's where. I couldn't quite tell for a moment there.
So that's what we were saying that they needed to do. They needed to get the ball in the hands of Ware. As we take another look at that, Hampton is there. Ware just finds himself open there in the middle, and Hampton just gets it right in there, threads it right into his hands, and pickup of about 4.
Anderson comes into the game for Gines.
Now, the offensive line is giving Quinn Hampton time to operate. It's just a matter of him finding the correct receiver to throw to.
So Hampton, giving out the count, drops back. It's gonna be a bobble snap. It's fumble on the ground. Looks like Butler has the ball.
Actually, Quinn jumped back on the ball. Dixie's really lucky they did that. There was him and Tony Jones, actually Quinn Hampton and Tony Jones just had communication problems as they went back to do that handoff.
Oh, looks like Jones had his helmet down and it hit him right in the hand. The handoff hit him right in the head.
Well, let's take a look here as he actually slips as he comes out of there. So it hit him in the shoulder pad.
That
knocked the ball loose.
Out. Hampton was able to recover. So with 4th and about 9.5, Hampton, see if he can get a first down. Hampton drops back. We've got a false start on the field. Late flags flying in from everywhere.
Now that's terrible. You got a 4th and 9. You're going to push it back now.
I believe that
You've got to give your offense some kind of time to work. You know, I know it's loud down there. The Butler fans are getting into it. But once again, Dixie comes off the field, no points. Quinn Hampton is obviously frustrated.
You know, one thing about that Butler crowd, however, there's about at least half as many of them here as there's for Dixie, and they're making a lot of noise over there. You can see the Dixie crowd not really too thrilled with what's going on the field right now.
Well, there's nothing to cheer about. They're getting spanked.
So Anderson set to kick it away. Play clock winds down. Anderson gets a good snap. A good high kickoff. It's going to go over and bounce right about the 5-yard line. It's going to bounce out of bounds right at the 4-yard line. Terrific kick by Anderson.
Great kick by Anderson, and it's placed perfectly. Takes a perfect Dixie bounce backwards about 2 yards, runs out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. So this could be a good break for Dixie if they're able to make a stop down here.
Yeah, exactly. Dixie's defense really needs to suck it up and go right after the Grizzlies here. You know Rudy Johnson's going to get the ball here probably 2 times on this possession right here. Make a stop. Throw somebody around.
Well, with the size and speed of Dixie's defensive line, they should be able to stop Johnson. But the Butler offensive line these past few series has really owned them. The Cobb drops back to pass. He's looking for Breeden down the sideline. He's got him, but he just overthrows Breeden a slight bit, as it looks like weight just kind of made him go off his route by just a half a second. It was barely enough to keep a touchdown from happening.
That was just a 4th thrown ball there by Daniel Cobb. He laid it out, and Breeden actually, he had to lay out trying to catch that. Cobb, maybe just a little bit more back, and they would have another 6 going the other way. Cody Waite was fighting, trying to pick up Breeden, but just from that first step, Breeden had him beat.
So with Johnson behind Cobb out of the power formation, it's going to be a handoff to Johnson. He's going to cut up middle, but he's not going to get anywhere as the Dixie defense stacks him up for maybe, that's no gain.
That's exactly what they needed, though. When you got a superhuman on the other side that you're making the superhuman, the best way to stop him is game tackle.
It looks like the Dixie defense found some kind of kryptonite or something. I don't know. Pretty good job by the Dixie defense flying to the ball.
So here's a big 3rd down situation for the Rebels. The Rebels need to make a stop here. They have to make a stop here and force Butler to punt from inside the end zone.
So Johnson back deep in the I formation, the zone out of the power I formation. Dean going in motion. It's going to be a pick to Johnson. Pitch. Johnson gets about a 4-yard gain, and that's about it as he's stacked up by Dixie defense once again.
So now it's 4th down. You're going to obviously get the ball back here, and you're going to have great field position. Guys will probably line up about the 45 or 40, and you're going to get the ball probably right at the 50, 45 of the other squad. But you've got to make it happen as soon as this offense comes out. They've got to come out and have some fire in there. So the defense did their part. They held them. Now it's up to the offense to move the ball.
We have an official's timeout on the field.
Reset the play clock.
Now we can see if we can get things rolling. It looks like Styles is back to kick the ball away down to Gines. A low snap. Styles is able to get away a short kick, however. That's going to go
horrible
out of bounds.
They're going to get it about the 20-yard line.
So a great break for the Dixie Rebels here as their offense needs to come out here. They've got excellent field position. They can't get any better than this. And they have to get something done here. Have to. Starting on the Grizzlies, what is that, the 23-yard line.
That's just like a turnover. No, but every down is a war. You've got to win these wars, and, one down at a time. Don't try to take the game over on one play.
So Hampton, out of the I formation, one wide receiver to each side. Hampton drops back, fakes a pitch. He's going to roll out. He's got time. He's got nowhere to throw. Finally throws it over the middle to Ethan Ross. Great catch and a touchdown by Ethan Ross.
So that's going to get the Dixie fans off their feet and cheering. And Dixie saying, hey, we're not out of it yet. 6 points right there.
I tell you, there's no reason for Dixie to have any ideas that they're out of it yet. They're only down by 21 now. Terrific job. Take a look here on the replay. You see that Hampton was in trouble. Watch Ross at the top of your screen. He realizes that Hampton's in trouble. He comes back to the ball and then has the presence of mind to turn around and turn it up for the end zone as the two Butler defenders run into each other. So Mitchell on to kick the extra point. It's up, and it's good.
Now, there's no reason that Dixie can't get back into this ball game. Butler County scored 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. Dixie has the offense, and they have enough weapons that they can score 4 touchdowns in one quarter.
And as well, it's one of the things that we've mentioned earlier. When you have a team that relies a lot on their emotion, you take that emotion away as you take another look at that terrific job by Ethan Ross and Hampton hooking up. But when you take away an emotional team's emotion, they really don't have much left. I'm really interested to see how Butler is going to react to this, if they're going to be able to come back.
They've got the crowd on their feet, the guys running with the D. Everybody's up. They want to see some exciting football. They've got to stay up. They've got to help that defense.
I wonder if we'll see another flag fight like we did when Snow College came down a while ago.
Oh.
So Dixie, Ethan Ross just had a great job there. Just like you said, Joe, just great presence of mind to be able to turn around and be able to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Just an excellent job by the Dixie offense there. Definitely capitalizing on a bad punt by Butler.
One thing though, they've been throwing the ball effective here early, now in the second half, but you've got to remember the defense is going to look for the pass. That's all they've been able to do against this defense. You've got to get some positive yardage on the rushing attack for your team.
So Blackwell's kick is going to be returned by Breeden. As he gets the return, he's going to get up to about the 20. He's going to break outside to about the 25 before he's finally cut down by Tony Wolfstrom. We do have a flag on the field.
I don't know if that's going to be a holding or a blocking or bad call, but I do not think it's going to be against Dixie.
Well, it did come in right at the end of the play, and you're right, Mike, it was a holding penalty. So Dixie now starting to take over as they were in the first quarter after that slight slump in the second where they allowed Butler to score 4 unanswered touchdowns.
Now, Dixie needs the crowd in this ball game. The crowd needs to come back to their feet. I know it's cold and you want to sit down and stay as warm as you can, but get up, get excited about this game.
I tell you, there's being excited is the best way to keep warm in a football game. Take a look at you watch NFL football on Sunday morning, you see all those guys out there in New England with their shirts off, painted all up. That's how they stay warm. They keep excited. So 2 wide receivers to the left side. Call pitches back to Johnson. Johnson's going to break through the line. Johnson's got 1 man to beat. Johnson cutting back to the inside. Brigham chasing him down. Johnson breaking upfield. Finally brought down the 30-yard line by Dan Brigham. We have a flag at the end of the play again.
It's a great job by Brigham in being able to catch up with Johnson there to bring him down by his shoulder pads.
Well, Kyle Olson, I'm surprised he's not back at about the 20-yard line looking for his jock strap. Take a look right here. As Johnson just busts through the line, you can see Olson right there just being cut himself at, attacking Johnson a little too much. Brigham using his speed to catch up to Johnson and finally take him down.
No, they've just been attacking that right side, or the right side of the defense, going right at him with Rudy Johnson, and they've been able to just stack up the yards. Johnson had 160 yards rushing in the first half, 4 touchdowns. He's added a touchdown. He's added another big gainer here. He's well over 200 yards now.
Well, Dixie makes a costly mistake there with a personal foul. Looks like a spearing penalty.
I don't know if the team ran over 200 yards against this Dixie defense all year. 1 man is doing it right now.
Well, rushing has been their best defense, and Johnson is just eating them alive here.
Where's Butler without Johnson, though?
No, Dixie's got to hope for some kind of turnover.
So a quick handoff up the middle to number 33, Mike Lloyd, but he's brought down for about a 1-yard gain.
Actually, it was Reuben Logan.
Pardon me, I got caught looking at the wrong one for a second there.
Yeah, but Butler's been very effective in getting a helmet on a helmet when they are blocking for the running attack. And, you know, it leaves just one guy for Rudy Johnson to leave, and he's been able to leave him every time.
You see mowing on his hair? That guy looks like Samson down there. He's got a nice mane behind him. So Cobb out of the I formation with Dean behind him. The pitch to Dean. Dean cups up the middle, and he's going to be brought down for about a 2-yard gain.
Now the flag comes out.
And it looks like it's going to be against Butler.
Yeah, Dixie really needs to hope that they get some kind of turnover.
Now we got frisbees being thrown up to the crowd.
Well, anything to get this crowd into the ball game. And they're more excited about receiving a frisbee than seeing Butler County go down here.
Well, hey, can you blame him though? A free frisbee. Come on, that's exciting. Let's take a look at the replay here. As you can see Dean coming in. Looks like we couldn't quite see where the penalty came in there at the end.
How many times have you played frisbee in your life?
Oh, a few times back in the day. All right, so Cobb calling out the play. He's going to hand it off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson's got room. He makes a couple of moves. He's going to bust it up the inside. Touchdown again for Butler County.
And that puts the game almost out of reach. You know, there's 6 minutes and 16 seconds left to play in the third quarter here, and Butler still as strong as they have been all game. And
He's got 6 touchdowns. You would think you could stop him.
He's just been phenomenal all game long.
I tell you what, we were looking for a defensive struggle coming into this game, and
there is no defense.
So Styles picking up the extra point, and it's good. So that brings the score up to 42-14 in favor of the Butler County Grizzlies.
Look at everybody walk around. Nobody's running. Nobody's hustling. Everybody's just walking around.
I tell you, right now, if Dixie expects to be thought of as a championship team, they need to show it right now. I mean, you're down by how many is that? 28 points? 28 points. You need to be, this is right now when they need to get excited. This is when they need to get themselves back in the game. No one's going to help them out. Butler, you can't expect them to hand you a chance to get back in the game. You've got to come out and take it.
well, this is the perfect song to be playing. You know, you get knocked down, you get up again. That's what Dixie needs to do right now. They have to get back up, brush themselves off, be able to get back into this game, and do exactly what Mike said, you know. Butler scored 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter. Dixie can do it too, because like Mike said earlier, they have the weapons to do it. They just need to utilize those weapons, get their heads out of the ground, and get them up and into the sky.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
Have you been thinking about your garbage? You shouldn't be. SS Express Sanitation Service is a locally owned and operated business that for over 20 years has given their customers reliable, professional residential trash service. SS Express has expanded with a brand new facility while maintaining the family-oriented dedication to curbside service, recycling, and even roll-off boxes for any big project or construction debris. Serving Wichita and the surrounding area, SS Express, your locally owned sanitation service. Call 522-9133 today. You don't have to be a skydiver to wear our clothing. You just have to have the spirit of those who live on the edge.
when Butler might get their heads a little out of the game. They might be thinking about, you know, fitting their sights for that championship ring right now, when they should be still concentrating on the game. This is when Dixie really needs to take over right now. They need to take over the momentum of the game and keep it.
Do they get a ring?
I don't know. Just guessing.
I would imagine they do.
So Styles kicking the ball away. It's a kind of a sideways spiraling kick, and it's going to sail out of bounds.
That's going to be a
At about
penalty.
the 15-yard line. That'll bring it up to the 35, unless Dixie opts for another kick, which I don't believe they will.
Their offensive unit's already out there.
So Dixie now taking over from the 35 with 6:12 left in the game. Butler on top, 42-14.
You know, the Jayhawk division, which Butler County plays in, usually provides some kind of national champion out of. They've always had great tradition there with football. Same with the WSFL, though.
So Hampton, the I formation behind him, drops back to pass. He's looking for someone. He's going to be hit as he throws by Michael Kendall, the guy that's I guess he just had Hampton on his dinner plate all day. He's just been hitting him from everywhere.
Once again, they try to isolate Ethan Ross one-on-one with the corner, hoping that his speed will be able to get him open in the open field.
Tell you what, like we said earlier at the beginning of this half, they need to find Aaron Ware. They need to find him. He's been doing it all year long, and they just have not. They've hit him, 3 times so far today, and just have not been able to find him.
So with Anderson and Ross, the split out wide receivers, Hampton drops back. He's got pressure. He's going to throw it on a screen to Ross, but he's going to be brought down right there as Stephen Williams and Sean Smith come in from both sides to make sure Ross doesn't get anywhere.
Well, they had some success earlier in the first half of the play, just similar to this. They got it to Ross, and he picked up about 30, 40 yards in the first half.
The problem with that was the linemen were downfield long before Ross was. You got to play smarter than that when you're down by this much. So once again, out of the I formation, 3rd and 12. Hampton calling out the play. Drops back to pass. He's going to throw over the middle to Gines, and he's going to get about a good 10 yards, but it's not going to be 9 yards, pardon me. That's not going to be close enough to the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and 3.
Dixie's keeping their offensive unit out there on the field. They have to go for it in this situation. 5 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they don't just have to go for it. They have to get it. They really can't afford to give the ball to Butler this deep in their own territory. With the I formation behind him, Hampton.
Biggest down in the ball game right here.
Hampton hands it off to Nielsen up the middle. Nielsen is going to be short of the first down. So Dixie unable to get the first down. They're going to lose the ball to Butler on about the 42-yard line.
So, Mike, if Butler scores here, what happens?
We'll pretty much put it in the coffin. It's almost a sealed deal. I know we've got a whole nother quarter to play, but this Butler County defense has just been so tough on Dixie all day that to score that many points, it's going to be a little tough. Well, they're down 28 points, another touchdown, 35. Just don't, if Butler County scores, just let it be somebody else than this Rudy Johnson guy. All he'll say the rest of his life is how he scored X amount of touchdowns against the Dixie team.
So Cobb throws it to Stegman. He's going to be brought down close to another first down.
So like you said, Mike, this team's coming out and they're scoring, they're getting first downs, big plays every time.
They're, I bet if you took an average, their average is about 7 or 8 yards per down. You can't hope to stay with the team as long as they continue to score like that.
So Butler out of the I formation yet again, with Johnson way back in the I formation. Quick pitch out to Johnson. Johnson's going to cut up the middle. He's got the first down. He's working for more as he's pushed out of bounds at about the 24-yard line.
Look at that guy.
I tell you, I look for Johnson to do some big things.
Yeah, as big as his legs, maybe? Who knows? Johnson, take a look there on the replay, just breaking through everybody.
The thing is, you're not going to just tackle him one man at a time. You got to get 3 or 4 up on him and hope that he does go down. The kid is a workhorse. He's been working it all day here for the Butler County Grizzlies. Well, he does. He has 6 touchdowns. I'm sure he's well over the 200-yard mark.
So 4 wide receivers, trips to the left side. Johnson coming up. It's going to be a quick throw out to number 81 as he makes a couple of moves, jumps to the middle, and he's brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Kojima there, he was just playing so far off. You've got to know exactly where the sticks are. You can't be that far off on your man. He's got an automatic first down whether he makes that move or not.
They always tell you as a defensive player to attack the guy and make him make the first move. That time, Kojima just sat back as Brock Weaver juked around long enough till he found a hole and jumped up into it. So with 3 running backs behind Cobb, Johnson being the tailback, Cobb gives out the play to his wide receiver. It's going to be a handoff to Johnson yet again. Johnson's going to break tackles. He's going to get about a 3 or 4 yard gain on the play.
He makes just so many people miss. 3 people were on the ground before he was wrapped up to be tackled. Solomon Nanu misses. Dan Brigham, he just sheds off. Kojima and number 40 have to, it's just each other on the tackle there.
So with 2nd and goal from the 5, Butler looks to penetrate the end zone yet again with the Johnson run. So with Green, the lone wide receiver, to the left side. 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs behind Cobb. Dean going most on the left side. Yet again, a pitch out to Johnson. Johnson's going to break up the middle. Another touchdown for Johnson, his 7th of the day.
Well, you can put him down for the 1999 Rotary Bowl MVP. That's his 7th touchdown of the game.
Well, he's well over 2,000 yards by the end of the game.
The kid had 25 touchdowns in the regular season. People are starting to leave the stands now. They feel that this one is all but pretty much over here.
Well, it looks like the only fight this crowd has left in it is, the fight to the car.
The traffic. No, this is very unfortunate for the Rebels. They've...
So with the kick by Styles good and 2:44 left in the 3rd quarter, Butler on top, 49-14. Let's take one more look at Johnson's pitch out. Great camera work there as you get to see a good look at Johnson's facial expressions as he cuts up the field. Breaking it all the way into the end zone. He has just been an absolute animal today.
Well, 32 touchdowns on the year for somebody.
I tell you, you're absolutely right there, Mike. 32 touchdowns. That's phenomenal.
Well, Dixie, I mean, they've got something to be proud of. They've had a great season, and
yeah, they really have. They can't hang their heads on one loss, even though it was the biggest game of their entire life.
Right.
But they can't take anything away. Nobody can take anything away from what this team's achieved this year.
Well, they are still the conference champions, I believe, and they've. This Butler team really came out and worked hard for this win. As you can see, the celebration already taking hold on the Butler side of the ball. They really believe this game is over. And when you're up by that much, there's really no denying it when you're up by 35.
It's 5 touchdowns. And extra points.
Fans continue to exit the building.
So another weird kick as it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. That kick just kind of, I don't know what that was. That was like a line drive straight to the back corner of the end zone.
Oh, smart. It's taking the...
That is very smart. And the ball goes down there. There's no chance of a run back there by Ross or Cody Waite.
That's
no
exactly
chance.
why you set up things like that, to take the ball out of the skilled positions' hands, out of the skilled position players' hands.
So Butler's defense, with 2:40 left, hopes to hold Dixie to only 14 points in the game. Hampton calling out the cadence. Fakes the pitch to Jones. Now he's going to be sacked back at about the 10-yard line. Forward Progress will give him the 13-yard line.
Charlie Dennis stepped up from his linebacking position to make that sack, but he didn't have the pressure initially. It's that whole Butler County front line that is just... Dixie is definitely bigger than this Butler County team, and that was one thing Coach Shabesh said. He said, you know, they might be bigger than us, but he said, I don't think they're going to be more physical than we are. We're a very physical, hard-hitting group.
So with the I formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Hampton drops back to pass yet again. He's going to roll out to his right side. He's going to have trouble. He's going to have to throw the ball away as Ross was being well covered and nowhere to go with the ball.
Looks like Coach Croshaw was his target there.
I tell you, Coach Croshaw cannot be very happy with the way this second half is going. The first quarter, however, it looked like Dixie was going to control the game like they normally do, but Butler, and around the end of the first quarter and the second quarter, really took over the game. As you watch Hampton here rolling out, you can see that Ross was well covered. He just kind of had to throw the ball away.
I tell you, Butler was probably watching a lot of films of Dixie, and as there's a flag on the play here, but they've been probably watching them for the last month or so and watching exactly how they can control Dixie and be able to shut their offense and defense down, and they've done just a total effective job of that.
So it looks like we have a... I can't remember what that penalty is.
Is it an unsportsmanlike on who? On both teams?
I believe it was on Butler.
Well, they waved one towards Butler, and then they waved it towards Dixie. I don't even know what happened.
I didn't see anything
Croshaw,
really.
Croshaw was giving him an earful. You know, Coach Croshaw has got to be disappointed. He's worked his whole entire life to get to this point, to play for this one game.
The Hampton drops back. He's got time. He's looking for guys over the middle, but it's tipped away by Stephen Williams as he comes over right at the end of the play and knocks the ball away. We have a flag, however, at the end of the play.
Oh, a lot of long faces on the Dixie sideline.
I tell you, a lot of smiling faces on the Butler side of the ball.
You know,
wait for the official ruling.
It'll make that 22-hour trip that much more enjoyable, knowing you came out and it was worth it. But another look here. Let's see where maybe the play was called for an interference call. I don't know if they're going to pick up the flag there, but I didn't see anything.
Well, there definitely wasn't any interference by Williams. He was a good 5 yards in front. It looks like they are going to stick with the ruling, giving an automatic first down. This is a small break for Dixie, but it's really too little too late as there's only 1:47 left to go here in the third quarter. Grizzlies on top, 49-14.
A lot of this last quarter will simply be played for pride. I mean, obviously you still think you can get back into the game, but this Butler County defense has sure been playing tough, and we got another false start here.
Oh, but I don't see a flag on the field. I don't.
There was a fumbled snap, and Hampton getting up and trying to push forward a little bit with it.
Well, it looks like Hampton got the ball before he was ready for it. I don't know. Occasionally that happens where the center decides to snap the ball a little before everyone else, and you know, it's not a fault. He's never wrong. Whenever he snaps the ball, that's when the play starts.
Tell you what, I hope these Butler fans really enjoyed St. George. Hope they took advantage, went up to Zions, and had a good time.
So Hampton with the I formation, pitching back to Jones. Jones cutting up the middle. Jones making breaking tackles all the way up to about the 23-yard line, making it 3rd and 3.
So we're inside a minute here in the third quarter.
Well, it looks like the
Dixie continues to trail 49-14.
Clock rolls down here in the third quarter. It's 36 seconds.
Well, Jim, what do you do if you're Dixie? You continue to leave the starters out here, or?
I think so, because it's the last game of the season. You know, you might as well try and do something as they break through and get it. Looks like they pick up a first down.
Yeah, for many, it's possibly their last football game of their entire career. definitely not a note that some wanted to go out on, but you've always got to have a loser.
Well, you know, maybe a spark is igniting here with the Dixie offense. They've just picked up a first down and had a couple of really good runs there. And maybe they'll pick up something. Maybe, you know, like you said, I mean, it's 5 touchdowns at this point, but, you know.
Well, you can tell by the body language that Dixie's just trying to get out of here right now, as it looks like the third quarter is going to wind down. Hampton will not get the playoff as we come to the end of the third quarter. Grizzlies on top by 35. The score is 49-4.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
Congratulations to James Shebest and the players and staff of the 2-time National Junior College Champion Butler County Grizzlies. Thanks for a great year and many more to follow. This message brought to you by Carlisle's Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated.
Against a very talented Dixie defense. But,
well, you can see a lot of the Dixie fans leaving the stands as you see Coach Croshaw obviously not too pleased with the game today.
Well, there's still quite a few people left here. There are a lot of people leaving, but some people are sticking around. The students are sticking around. The students are still loving it.
Yeah, this is still their vacation. They get to have some fun today.
so here we go from the pro set formation. Hampton to go back to the air. He's got Ross at about the 32-yard line. It'll bring up a second and about 6. Actually, second and 5.
So like I was saying, maybe Dixie has a spark here. Maybe they're going to try and get something, but they've got to do it quick because there's 14 and a half minutes left to play here in the game. And they've got 5 touchdowns to get. Their defense has to make quick stops, and their offense has to make quick touchdowns.
Well, that's the thing. Butler County's rushing attack is so effective they can keep that unit on the field for so long and eat up a lot of that clock. From the I formation, Hampton gives to Tony Jones. He busts it upfield, be knocked down at about the 38-yard line.
It's going to be close to the first down.
Well, it looks like they're going to give him the first down.
It is going to be a first down.
Here's some third quarter stats for you as you take a look at the replay. Butler County's offense has 539 yards, 330 of which are rushing.
That's unbelievable right there.
Johnson has 312 yards with 6 touchdowns and averaging 12 yards a carry.
312 yards on how many carries?
On 26 carries, I believe.
Wow. Hampton to the air. He's got Ross across the middle. Ross is in a foot race. He slipped up at the 29-yard line. First down for the Rebels. We're inside 14 minutes. The Rebels trail here 49-14.
Here's another interesting statistic for you. Dixie's running game, on the other hand, on 25 rushes, only has 36 yards.
You know, and that's always been their backbone, is that their rushing attack. They've always been able to grind it out over the course of a 4-quarter game and just push the defense to the limit where their legs are a little weary at the end of the game. And today they've really just been passing the ball. Just not exactly, but they've been having to pass the ball because they've been trying to catch up all day long. So Jones lines up in the I formation. And Nielsen is the fullback. Goes with the fake pitch. Rolls out to his right. Hampton looking deep. He goes deep. He's got Jones. Jones jumps up for the jump ball. It's incomplete at the 1-yard line.
I'll tell you, Charles Barely looked like he had an early Christmas present right there as he jumped up for the ball. Jones tipping away right at the last second. It looks like the only really shining star for Dixie today has been Ethan Ross with 6 receptions for 138 yards and 1 touchdown.
And most of that came in the first quarter.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, he had 123 yards in the first quarter. He's only got like how much is that? If my math is correct, 15 more yards during the course of the game.
Well, I tell you, this is getting so bad the band's leaving.
The give is to Jones. He's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss by number 34, Corey Brown, for the Butler Grizzlies. And it's down to 13 minutes and counting. The clock will continue to run. It will bring up a big 3rd and 12 from the 32-yard line. Hampton and company continue to look for that end zone. But yeah, that's an amazing statistic there with Johnson well over the 300-yard mark. Definitely the MVP of the Rotary Bowl today.
There's no question about it.
Hampton back to the air. He's got guys across the middle. He's right about the first down territory. He might be about a half a yard short, but he's right at the sticks. As we take another look, Gines, just beautiful route across the middle as he's knocked down by number 8, Charles Berry, on the coverage there.
Here's another thing for you. Johnson has scored every touchdown for Butler today. No one else has touched the ball in the end zone but him. That's an amazing guy right there.
Well, you look at the statistics, and Johnson's done everything for them.
You know, Johnson's had probably 4 or 5 40-plus rushers. You know, as long as a 66-yarder. You know, the kid has been amazing, though. Give credit to Johnson and the offensive line for the Butler County Grizzlies. They've really been able to open up a lot of holes. They've really controlled that defensive front against this Dixie unit.
I'd say the only one other person on over there is Sam Breeden. He's done a great job of getting himself open and made a few great receptions to be able to help in the process of opening.
Yeah, he has made a lot of clutch receptions. He's had 5 receptions for 89 yards.
But here we go. It's 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Dixie trails 49-14. Hampton and company looking to go to the end zone. He goes to the air. Pump fake. He's got Ross in the corner. He just throws it just out of bounds. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
I tell you, that flare was, that was a fade route. Hampton threw that clear to the back of the end zone, and Ross really had no chance of getting there. With how far they're probably playing off of Ross, I say you throw a quick inside route to him. When you take a look at the scoreboard there, it is correct. It is 14-49 with 12:10 left in the 4th quarter.
So Ethan Ross comes to the left. Wyatt Gines goes to the right. The pitch is to Jones. It's a fake reverse. Jones is going to take it up the left side. He'll barrel forward to about the 13-yard line.
Well, you know, one thing about Tony Jones and Tony Nielsen today, they've pretty much been the dynamic duo in the backfield for Dixie all year, but today they've only combined for 41 yards rushing on 11 rushes. Nielsen, the only one of the two with the touchdown.
So we're inside the red zone here at the 12-yard line. Actually, the 13-yard line. It's a 3rd and 4. Dixie hoping to get back on track and punch this one in for a touchdown. The give is to Jones. He'll take it right up the middle. He's stacked up by the Butler County Grizzlies. He'll get to about the 10-yard line, but it'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th and 1, and the Rebels will be forced to go for it.
The one thing that surprised me is Aaron Ware's only had 3 receptions today for 21 yards. I mean, with a guy of his caliber, you should be going to him first and foremost through the whole game, really, especially in a championship game. He's the guy that's going to step up for you the most. He's stepped up for him all year. As it looks like we have Mark Pitts in the game for Nielsen.
Once again, the give to Jones. He'll go into the end zone as he does a little taunting. I don't know if he's in position to taunt anybody. This team's on the other end.
Well, he's going to want to do something this late in the game. You know, with the way things have been going for him all day, he just wants to get something going.
Well,
I tell you, that was kind of a first quarter drive. It was kind of slow, but surely they got up the field and scored a touchdown. But at this point in the game, if they have any chance of getting back into the game, they've got to do it a lot quicker than that.
So Kobe Mitchell will come on for the PAT. Kyle Olson is the holder. There's the snap. It's down. It's up and good. That makes the score to 21-49. Left with 11:19 left in the game.
Well, take a look at that run there by Jones. Nobody touches him. He just waltzed into the end zone, and there's his own little end zone deal, I guess.
Yeah, I'm bad.
Just take a look at one of our camera crew. Our camera crew has really done a terrific job.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
You don't have to be a skydiver to wear our clothing. You just have to have the spirit of those who live on the edge.
Your Master of Galleries, Master Gallery, Normandy Center, Wichita. Pamper your soul and excite your senses as you prepare for the holidays with a twist. Wichita's new and unique gourmet food and gift shop in Old Town has hundreds of items for entertaining and gift-giving. With a Twist is brimming with fine, rich coffees, teas, chocolates, and foods from around the world. We specialize in elegant gift baskets and corporate gifts. Order online at foodandgifts.com or visit our store for the finest personal service imaginable. With a Twist, the new and exciting solution for your holiday shopping.
I think everybody on this KCEC production team's done a terrific job.
With that note, this broadcast is copyright by KCEC TV, the community education channel. Any rebroadcast or reproduction is strictly prohibited without express written consent from KCEC television.
Have a deja vu from the first half, isn't it?
No, I just do it as I'm told.
Well,
no, it's been real fun being up in the booth and working with everybody that we worked with. We've got a lot of camera operators have been real great. Everybody in the truck has been real great.
It's been a great season
It
for
really
the
has.
Dixie Rebel football, Dixie Rebel sports in general this season.
All Dixie College sports. Fortunately, last night we went to snow and our girls and men's basketball team were beaten, but they put up a good fight. Snow is always an arch rival in any sport. Even if we play them in chess or something, we definitely want to always come home with a victory there.
and I just love the crowds that show up for those national chess tournaments, you know. It gets wild out there.
Well, even the girls' soccer team went to Baltimore in the Nationals and came away with third place in Nationals, so...
Dixie Athletics has always had a good foundation in every sport.
Back to the game at hand.
A little bit of extracurricular activity down there in the field. Looks like the ball might have come loose on the kick return.
You know, David Rout, number 9 for the Butler County Grizzlies, has been jawing with Tony Jones all day. He just got in a little extracurricular activity out there. Looks like he wants to put the hurt to someone.
Well, there's Ham taking up the field. Let's see if we can see the ball pop loose. I don't see it popping loose. I guess most of that extra stuff just came in after that second effort. As you take a look at the Dixie Rebels fountain on the, okay, is that the north side of the field?
It'll be the north side.
Aha. Yeah, I do have a little bit of direction in me.
So here comes Cobb. He gives to his main man, Johnson. He'll take it up to about the 32. A flag comes in. It may be holding. So far today, though, they haven't had to hold anybody as Johnson's rumbled and stumbled for 300-plus yards.
So, how long do you leave Johnson in? The guy's already got well over 300 yards on the day. How long do you leave the guy in?
Let him finish what he started.
Yeah, he'll continue to carry this team.
Let him get as much as he can. If he wants to get more, might as well let him have it.
Whoever gets Johnson, whether it be Auburn or Colorado, he definitely will go in and be able to make some noise as soon as he gets into the system, gets into the program up there.
Oh yeah, running like that, he could even go further into the NFL and be a star.
Yeah, that is what happened to Corey Dillon a few years back, if most of you out there would remember. He played here at Dixie for a few years, then went up to, I believe it was Washington, before being drafted by the Bengals.
The Bengals.
So Johnson up the left side. He tries to spin and get away from the tackler, but he's dropped at the 18-yard line. Some fans still sticking around, giving the defense a hand.
Well, I tell you, I'm pretty surprised by the faithful amount of Dixie followers there are out there on the field today.
There's a lot of old Dixie players down there on the sidelines, taking notice down there.
This is probably the biggest game in Dixie
history.
In Dixie history, especially for the football team. So Cobb with the full house backfield, number 7, Terrence Dean comes in motion. The pitch is to Johnson. He'll take it up the right side of the field. He's shaking and baking, busting up to about the 30-yard line. He is well short of the first down, but nice pickup there by Johnson.
But you could tell right there on his run, he's just running for fun out there right now. He's not, he's not thinking end zone. He's just thinking, oh, what the heck, game's over. Might as well get some more extra yards on my.
I'm sure he's thinking first down.
Oh yeah, but
the main thing is that Johnson stays in bounds for the Grizzlies and continues to get this clock to run. We're under 10 minutes here. We're at the 9:30 mark, and they continue to lead 49-21. But Johnson will be gone next year. Cobb will be gone. So that tandem has had a great run here at Butler County. It's a fumble by Johnson. Looks like Dixie has picked it up.
Well, that's the first bad thing I've seen Johnson do all day is let the ball go loose.
Well, that was kind of hit him in an awkward position there, and it just kind of flew up in the air. And
so if we score here, we're back to 28-49. Onside kick, we're at 35. Another onside kick, we're at 49.
41,
42. I jumped from 35 to 49.
Then another onside kick.
I haven't seen that happen, but it could happen.
Hey, this is college football.
Hey,
anything
somebody
can
could
happen.
spit out 9, 10 kids at one time. You can get a couple onside kicks, I'm sure.
I know back in the early 80s, Frank Reich in University of Maryland came back and made a huge comeback of like 35 points or something like that.
Ethan Ross catches it for the touchdown.
I tell you, this might actually start to come through.
That's what they needed to do. They had to come out and hit quickly, and that's as quick as you can do it on your first play of the game, first play of the drive, and be able to score a touchdown like that really quick with Ethan Ross there.
Well, it's like we were saying before the first half, when you've got a guy like Ethan Ross and a guy like Quinn Hampton throwing the ball, those guys can almost score at will. You just got to get Ross open a little bit, get Hampton to throw the ball where he can catch it. You have the ability to score a touchdown 10 seconds every time.
So don't nail the nails in the coffin yet. We're back up. It's 49-27. Kobe Mitchell on for the PAT. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it's good. A low line drive as it hits Ron Sr.'s camera.
So 9 minutes left to play in the game here, and Dixie scores another touchdown to make the score 49-28.
Well, it's good to see that Ron's still up there.
I wonder how Ron made it back from snow last night.
He went down with one of his friends. I'm sure he had a better trip, than some of us there in the van.
No, that was a long
cold.
trip. That really was. It was a real long trip. We were in the ice box. I just saw an airplane come down and hit some guy in the eye. He's not very happy about it.
I saw one hit an older gentleman down there a few minutes ago, and he had a few words to say to the guy that threw it.
So do we see an onside kick here?
Oh, why not?
You know what? With the way it's lined up, it looks like they might. You know what?
Well, Mitchell's on to kick instead of Blackwell.
In this situation, you should go for an onside kick. I mean, you're in the championship game. It's not like you can go home and prepare for another game next week. This is it. This is it for a lot of these guys in the Dixie uniform.
This is
You
the
gotta
whole
give-
enchilada.
You got to give them a chance to at least feel like they had a chance at coming back.
Well, they are in the regular formation. Colby Mitchell moves to his left. The hands team is on for the Butler County Grizzlies. Colby Mitchell to go for the kickoff here. It looks like he's going to kick it deep. Number 21's got to get on his horse to get back. It'll go out of the end zone.
I'll tell you, that was a pretty good fake. It faked me out. I thought they were going to go for an onside for a minute there. I guess if you're Butler, it's better to be safe than up by only 14, I guess. We can see Randy Rebel trying to get the crowd back into this game.
I gotta tell you, this is probably the first time that Dixie has scored 4 touchdowns in a game and still been down.
Well, hey, we've got 8:59 left in the game. Dixie has all 3 timeouts. You can score, 30, however many points that is in a few minutes.
So the Grizzlies from the I formation, they give it to Mr. Johnson. Johnson barrels up to about the 23-yard line.
I tell you, I think Johnson thought he was going to lose it there for a second. He kind of turned around, like when he got hit, he turned around and looked at the ball, I think. Just taking a look at this.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what he does right there. He just kind of looks at the ball. He's like, oh, you still there?
CFE just came across and tried to strip that ball loose. What a time to have that done.
I don't know.
But
Big
what
Junior
happened?
CFE is probably one of the only guys that can take down Johnson on his own.
6'5", 300-plus pounds. He's a force to be reckoned with. They give right back to Johnson. He tries to cover up the right side. He's going to be down at the 24-yard line. Dixie is making a stand here.
Well, they're really showing that they have a lot of pride in this football organization right now. They're making a stop. They're really working on trying to get back in this game. And with 8 minutes left, who knows? Things can happen. You get a fumble or an interception or, I don't know, miracle of some sort.
Here and there, Here a little, there a
5 or
little.
10 miracles. Well, it looks like we've got Aaron Lewis having his, I guess that's his hamstring being worked on the sideline.
So Cobb's got 2 split outs to the left. They go with the reverse. Breeden comes to the right side. He's got tacklers in front of him. He's stacked up by number 27 and driven back. Dixie has made a good stand here. They will be forced to punt.
Mike, you're too excited for your mouth to keep up with you.
I think faster than I can talk. I try to spit it all out at once, and it just doesn't happen.
I tell you, Wyatt Gines is going to come out back deep for the Rebels to receive this punt.
If Dion was in the building, throw Deion Sanders back there, I guarantee we'd have 7.
Dion was on the Dixie Rebel team right now. I think the score might be a little different.
Well, then they definitely have someone that could cover Breeden.
Now, come on, guys. Dion doesn't play for Dixie.
Never has,
Florida
never will.
Wishful thinking, I guess. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd root for Dixie either if Dion was on there.
I like him.
I don't know. He's got his good side and his bad side. Just about everybody does. Anyway, back to St. George, Utah, where Dixie is down 49-28. Dixie's going to return a punt here with Wyatt Gines. Right now, if Dixie can score right here, they're right back in this ball game with 7:28 left in the game. I'm really, if they can score right here, then it's like a 14-point game.
Yeah,
this game is definitely not over if they can keep the momentum.
So there's the kick. Stills kicks a high kick. Gines will be able to take this one back. He's got blockers out in front. He takes the middle. He splits it up the right side. It's a foot race. Stills has got Dingle. He takes him out at the 22-yard line. Dixie is back in business.
I tell you, Wyatt Gines right there did exactly what Dixie needed. He got a huge play right now. This is when they needed it the most. They're down to, what is that, about the 29-yard line? This is huge.
So big play by the special teams man, Wyatt Gines. The Rebels trail 49-28, 7:14 left in the ball game.
Let's take another look at this. Look at Gines. That's a terrific job by the blocking crew, giving him a hole. He just finds a hole, he sticks to it, and accelerates past everyone, finally getting knocked out of bounds right there.
So pro set formation. Hampton up under center. Barking out the call. He'll go to the air. He's under some pressure. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's got room to run. He cuts it up. Gets a block by Guines. Takes it inside the 10-yard line to about the 9.
Do not count Dixie out yet. They've caught the momentum. They're holding on to it. Guines making 2 big plays in a row, springing Hampton right there, getting him down to the 10-yard line. Watch right here. Hampton's got pressure. He rolls out. Watch Guines come up from behind and block number 40. Hampton being dragged out of bounds at about, I believe, the 9-yard line.
Great job by Hampton, knowing he had to get out of bounds, so he was going for the out-of-bounds line instead of the end zone. So great job by Hampton.
So 7:05 left here in the fourth quarter. National title game here is on the line. Dixie trails 49-28. They're inside the 10-yard line. Hampton go right back to the air. He's looking for Anderson. He's got him. It's a touchdown. The Rebels score.
My heck. Rebels are back into this game. There are 7 minutes left to play in this game, and it is now 49-34 with the point after the touchdown. If they get it, it'll be 49-35, down by 2 touchdowns, and that's it.
You know, I feel sorry for every person that left this stadium early. This is turning out to be one of the best games I've seen in my life. Watch Hampton right here. Throws a bullet to Anderson over the middle. Has to go down to get it. Terrific job by Anderson getting the ball.
Colby Mitchell comes on for another kick. It's up and good. So it's 35-49. The Rebels are cutting into the lead here, and they're cutting down the Grizzlies from Butler.
You know, I've said it before in this game, and I'm going to say it again. When you have a team that runs on emotion like this Butler County team, they're definitely, if you can take the emotion away from them, you can put them in your back pocket. And Dixie is starting to do that right here.
Well, the Dixie crowd is getting back into it. They're on their feet. They're cheering, and they're ready to do this.
For generations, Clark's Jewelry has offered the service and selection that have made them Wichita's Diamond Authority. Choose from Clark's large selection of diamonds, and if you have an idea, custom designing is available. Visit Clark's Jewelry and find out how a special moment begins.
Bricks Collective. Home, apparel, shoes. A point of view.
With all the fun and flair you've come to expect, Piccadilly presents Pasta Night with a twist. Come in for dinner, served up just the way you love it. You pick your pasta and favorite add-ins. We create it, fresh, savory, and sizzling right before your eyes. And for those who can never get enough, there's Piccadilly Pasta Night West on Tuesday and East on Thursday. Piccadilly Pasta Night, because there's always Piccadilly.
Congratulations to James Shebest and the players and staff of the 2-time National Junior College champion Butler County Grizzlies. Thanks for a great year and many more to follow. This message brought to you by Carlisle's Heating and Air Conditioning Incorporated, your local York dealer. Carlisle's is the one-stop pro shop servicing of all of El Dorado and the surrounding area for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical needs. Congratulations to Butler County Community College.
Clark's Jewelry's Christmas sale is going on now with up to 70% off of the entire inventory. Diamonds, bracelets, wedding bands, pendants, watches, all up to 70% off. Clark's has 90 days same as cash, and free layaway is available. Don't miss this sale at Clark's Jewelry.
Pamper your soul and excite your senses as you prepare for the holidays with a twist. Wichita's new and unique gourmet food and gift shop in Old Town has hundreds of items for entertaining and gift-giving. With a Twist is brimming with fine, rich coffees, teas, chocolates, and foods from around the world. We specialize in elegant gift baskets and corporate gifts. Order online at foodandgifts.com or visit our store for the finest personal service imaginable. With a Twist, the new and exciting solution for your holiday shopping.
Johnson to keep things going for the Grizzlies.
I feel bad. We even talked about in the third quarter that maybe the game was over.
I tell you, I'm going to have to do some serious repenting for that.
Go see your bishop after the game.
Well, that guy's definitely happy about the game.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, this is, we're right back in this.
Dixie's not going quietly into the night.
I'll tell you, Dixie's defense right now needs to make a stand, and they've got the guys, they've got the talent and the skill and the discipline to make a terrific stand right here. Listen to this crowd. You can barely hear me talk. I can hardly hear myself think. This crowd is going crazy.
This is great. The crowd's into it. The players want the crowd into it. Everybody's going nuts. Mitchell, the kickoff. He's going to be kicking deep. Breeden drops all the way back to his end zone. He'll take it. Oh, he fumbles it 1 yard deep in his end zone. He's going to take it out. Takes it up the left side. Cuts back the grain. He's down at the 18-yard line. Here comes that Dixie defense. Look at the crowd that does remain there on their feet. They want some action.
This crowd is going insane. All the people, I'm going to say it again, I feel sorry for every one of those people that went home. I'm sure that they turned it on to the radio stations carrying this game right now. Take a look at this. He fumbles the ball in the end zone, and once when you're on a kickoff return team, you can't afford those little slight second mistakes like that. It's going to let a team like Dixie come up and take you out.
Mitchell walks the Grizzly and crew company up. I formation. Breeden and Legman back. They give us to Johnson. He's wrapped up. Johnson falls forward for about a gain of 4.
I tell you, this Dixie defense, man, I can see it in their body motions. They're starting to get pumped back into this game, just like the crowd is. You can see them down there. They're getting ready. They're hungry. They want this game. Take a look right here. And you see the hole open up a little bit for Johnson. He cuts up. He's got that size to be able to get the extra yard after the hit. But Dixie is starting to stick to him. He's not really breaking tackles like he was a few minutes ago.
6:21 left in the ball game. The Rebels trail 49-35. Cobb with the pitch to Johnson. He takes it up the left side. He's met by would-be tacklers for Dixie. It's all started by Moananu at the middle linebacker position.
I tell you, Moananu, man, that was a terrific defensive play. Everybody on this Dixie defensive side of the ball is flying to the ball, but one thing they have to do right now is keep their head in the game. As you watch here on the replay, look at Moananu taking out his legs. That's the kind of thing you have to do with a big, strong guy like Johnson. Take out his legs, and he can't go anywhere. But watch out if you're Dixie. You got to keep your head in the game. You can't get too emotionally attached to this game.
Big third down here. 3rd and 3 on the 25. Dixie needs a stop. The clock is running at 5:35. Cobb to go to the air. He's got a man. He short hops it. It's going to bring up 4th down. They will be forced to punt.
I tell you, they went to Breeden. He's been their big play man all day, but unfortunately for the Grizzlies and very fortunate for the Rebels, Cobb underthrew the ball, and that brings up 4th down and 3, and the punting unit will come on for the Grizzlies.
We have life here at the Hanson Stadium. The fans are into it. The broadcasters are into it. Everybody's into the game. Dixie is not out of it. Wyatt Gines on special teams tries to get it going. Steals with the kick. It's a short line drive. Gines is going to be able to field it. He picks it up. He takes it. Splits the middle. He takes it up the right hash mark. He's going. He's inside the 40-yard line at the 31.
I tell you, I'm taking a look at this Dixie sideline. They are going crazy. This whole Dixie side of the field is going absolutely insane.
These fans are back into it. Dixie is back into it. They're only down by 2 touchdowns, and they are in excellent field position starting on the Grizzlies' 29-yard line. Excellent position for Dixie here.
Take a look at Gines. Watch this right here. He has to field it low. Now watch him as he just picks a hole and accelerates right through it. Great job by blocking. I couldn't quite see who sprung the block there.
Hampton takes the snap. He drops back to throw. He's under heavy pressure. He's going to be sacked at about the 36-yard line. The clock will continue to tick at 5:13. The Rebels need to hustle back on offense.
I tell you right now, this is a throwing down right here, and Butler knows it. Dixie's going to have to throw the ball. They can't afford to be running the ball in this situation. There's 5 minutes left, and if Butler can get their running game going on the other side of the ball after this possession, you're not going to have much time left, even though you do have 2 timeouts left.
The Rebels have 2 timeouts. Butler County has all 3 remaining. At the 36-yard line, Hampton will take the snap. He goes, drops back, under pressure again. He throws. He has Anderson out. He lays out, but it's just out of bounds.
I'm telling you, this is a very critical 3rd and 15 right here. Dixie needs to get this, and who do you go to?
Well, the thing is, they don't need all 15 yards here. Get 7, 8 yards. give yourself position to have one more down and not 15 yards.
And throw the ball to Aaron Ware. They have not gone to him very much today. They need to. They need to spring him out, get a linebacker isolated on him. He'll get open.
I tell you, Aaron Ware was wide open in the end zone on that last play.
Hampton was under intense pressure from the right side. Hampton drops back an all-out blitz once again. He rolls out. He's got Ethan Ross on the right side. Oh, it's broken up by number 3.
That's Bobby Patterson once again saving the Grizzlies as Ross had him beat. Patterson comes in right at the last second and tips it away, almost intercepted, as Hampton makes a pretty decent throw on the run. Take a look here. He's got tremendous pressure behind him. He rolls back. He throws it out to Ross, gets him a little behind him. That gives Patterson the ability to catch the ball. To tip the ball
So 4th and 15. The Rebels need a first down here. They will definitely be doing it through the air. They have Mark Pitson, the other quarterback. Maybe look for a, I guess not. Drop back. Hampton's going to be dropped, and Butler County's defense has done it.
You know, there's still 4:28 left in the game. You've got 2 timeouts. There is no 2-minute warning, however, in college football. Dixie needs to make a stop. If Dixie can still make a stop right here, they're still not out of the game, but they need to make a stop for and out. They can't afford to let Butler get even 1 first down and get into even anywhere near field goal range, or they're going to be out of this game. As you take a look, Hampton trips up as he tries to take off. As Michael Kendall comes in, he's had Hampton's number all night long, all day long.
Butler County can eat up to as much as 2 minutes in the game. A first down would almost seal the deal. Johnson left side trying to break tackles. He's tackled. Looks like Danny Robinson was almost held on the play there.
The clock continues to tick down back to around 4 minutes to go. I tell you, Dixie, though, they did a good stop there, and now they need 3 more stops. At least 3.
Butler County will continue to let the clock run inside of 5 seconds before they snap the ball every time. You can count on that.
Well, you know exactly where this ball is going. If you're Dixie, you know it's going into Johnson's hands. You know that they're going to try to go right between the tackles with it.
Cobb checks over the defense. The handoff is to Johnson. He goes up the left side. Big tackle by Solo Moananu as he tripped him up by the legs, wrapped up at the ankles. Takes him down.
I could feel my heart stop when I saw Johnson cut back. Watch right here. He cuts back. Moananu catches his legs. Moananu knows how to tackle this guy. He's taken out his legs. He's been one of the only guys I've seen that's been able to have a solo tackle, I guess you could call it, on Johnson.
The crowd is on their feet. Big 3rd down and 8 from the 44-yard line. Cobb checks the defense over. I formation. He's going to the air. He's actually drop play to Johnson. He has the first down. He's up to about the 37-yard line.
So that could be the game. With 3 minutes left to play in the game here, Johnson's able to get a first down there, do what he's been doing all game long, and break tackles and be able to march the ball up the field.
Well, if you're Dixie right now, you've got to look to cause a fumble or get an interception. You know, you can't really just, with how much time there is left on the clock, you need to get a turnover somehow right now.
Well, you wonder how long they wait until they use those final 2 timeouts. The clock continues to run at 2:45. Cobb trying to raise the roof at the line of scrimmage. The give is to Reuben Logan. He's breaking through. He's up to the 29-yard line, right at the first down marker.
He did not go out of bounds. The clock continues to run down towards 2 minutes.
So Dixie's little run there may have been too little, too late, as 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to play here with 2nd and 1 for the Grizzlies.
That's a very short one at that. That's hardly even 6 inches. Looks like we're going to have a quarterback sneak here.
Actually, Reuben Logan takes it right between the tackles. He's right at the first down sticks. Looks like he did get it.
Well, they might bring out the chains to measure.
With under 2 minutes to go here, and the Rebels trail by 14, 49-35. If Reuben Logan did get the first down, you can all but call this one over. They will call out the chain game.
Looks to me from here like he got it.
Yeah, it's looking like he did.
Looks like the chains are going to go about halfway to the ball as you take a look at Coach Croshaw, anxiously anticipating the call. You know, it's these things, though, they all depend on the spot of the ball. Looks to me like he's going to get it.
Got it.
He got it by at least half the ball. I tell you, 6 inches, though, the other way, this could be a totally different ball game. But with 1:55 left and the Rebels still down by 14, things are really not looking good down here in St. George, Utah, if you're a Rebel fan. Take a look at Tony Jones. He's really worked hard here at the end of the game to get the Rebels back into it.
I tell you, if you're a Grizzly fan, you're happy. 2 years in a row winning the national championship. And really a great job by the Butler County Grizzlies today.
Cobb with the checkoff, gives to Johnson. Johnson up the left side. He's tackled by number 3, John Robothon.
So if you're Dixie right now, do you take your timeout? Yep. Looks like Coach Croshaw just signaled for a timeout. So that stops the clock with 1:18 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Makes sense to take your timeouts right now. You can't really save it for your off. When you're on offense, you have the ability to take the ball out of bounds and throw an incomplete pass to stop the clock. And if you know, and right now, if you don't score and Butler gets the ball again, it's all over anyway. If Butler scores right here, it's all over. So Dixie needs to hold them and block a field goal if necessary.
Well, Dixie has put on 28 points here in the second half. They were only able to muster 7 in the first half.
I tell you though, that third quarter is really that third and second quarter are really what killed Dixie.
Yeah, the Butler County Grizzlies have amassed over 600 yards total offense today. Just an outstanding number against just such a highly rated defense as the Dixie Rebels.
Well, this is probably the best offense and defense that this is the best all-around team that they've faced all year. That's why it is the national championship game, and this is the kind of game that you expect. I didn't expect it to be blown out the way it was in the interior of the game, but with the way the score is now, this is a little more the kind of game that we expected. Big plays by big-time players.
I tell you, if Dixie just would have gotten that going there in the third quarter, and this could be completely different.
So the give is to Johnson. He works the left side of the field. He spins and avoids tacklers and takes it to about the 19-yard line.
Looks like we're going to have another 3rd and short.
The clock continues to run. We're right at 1 minute. We're under a minute now, and the Rebels are down by 14. It's 3rd and 1.
You know, this game still isn't over. If they could get a stop here and force Butler to kick a field goal and miss it, you know, then they, of course, with the way the clock is running down, there's 10 seconds on the play clock. That's going to run it down to about 30 seconds.
Cobb calling the play. It's the Reuben Logan. He's stacked up. Doesn't look like he's going to get the first down. The Rebels have stopped him. They need a quick timeout here. So it brings up 4th and 1.
Nope. They just used their last timeout with 30.1 seconds left in the game. 4th and a long 1. Almost 2.
It will be interesting to see exactly what Butler County will do, whether they'll kick the field goal or opt to go for it.
I say in this situation, you got to kick the field goal. It's a lot safer. If you don't get the first down, you give Dixie a chance to get back into this ball game. You kick a field goal, the worst that can happen is they get the ball right where you would have got it.
I tell you, Dixie to score 2 touchdowns in 30 seconds. 2 touchdowns still only ties the game, and unless they go for 2. And it's virtually impossible.
Well, with the way this Butler defense has been flying around the ball, I'm not sure if you go for 2, even if you get a touchdown, unless it's the very last touchdown of the game. But getting back to matters at hand, they need to stop right here, as it looks like Butler will go for the ball.
So a big 4th and 1 from the 20-yard line. Cobb has Logan. Are we going to have an offsides, or?
You know, it looked like an offsides, but maybe someone shifted down the offensive line. We'll wait for the official ruling. looked to me like we had an offsides penetration of the neutral zone.
False start on the offense.
That changes things around completely.
So that'll bring up a long 4th and 6.
Now, shouldn't they reset the clock back to 31 seconds instead of 28.3?
They should.
I don't see him doing it yet. They might in a moment here.
Yeah, if it's a false start, there was no play ever.
Well, there's a good, that's, a good almost a half seconds left that that Dixie could really use. That's, an entire play.
What's that?
It looks like they did reset the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they've done.
Okay, so with 30.1 seconds and a critical 4th and 7, I believe, to go. Actually, make that 6.
The math just wasn't there today, Joe.
You're ready for that Christmas break, huh?
You know it.
Joe's been asking about when Christmas break is at the start of school. Joe, you deserve it, though.
Don't we all deserve a Christmas break every now and then? Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year.
Depends on where you are. If it's cold or not.
Well.
So the offense stays on for the Grizzlies. They lead 49 to 35 here. Cobb up under center. He's got Johnson and Logan behind him. The pitch is to Johnson. He'll take it up the left side. He's got blockers in front of him. He dives for the first down. He's right at the first down marker. Looks like he got a good spot.
He did get a pretty generous spot there. Looks like he's going to get the first down, and if he did, that's going to end the game. He did get the first down, and that's going to end the game with 22.7 seconds left.
I tell you, Dixie surge, though, is to take a look at Coach Croshaw.
I know. They had no reason to hang their heads. They came back into this game here around the end. They just kind of shut down for the second and third quarter.
Dixie will not win the national championship here in 1999.
The clock is winding down 7 seconds.
Butler County will most likely move into the #1 spot and retain and become the 2-time defending champions.
I tell you, Rudy Johnson did anything and everything that he was asked to do.
Definite MVP there for Rudy Johnson. For the Rebels, I think it goes to Ethan Ross.
He is the main 99% reason that Butler County won this game. He took over the tempo of the game, and like I said, no reason for Dixie to hang their head. They got back in this game. They fought hard to get here. They had an undefeated record until now.
They had a great season.
Well,
Can't take anything away from them.
Our congratulations go out to Butler County. The Grizzlies did a great job, had a great game, and beating the #1 Dixie Rebels here and winning the national championship.
And this broadcast is brought to you by KCEC Television, Community Education Channel, and the copyright. It is a copyright and it needs written consent by KCEC Television. No reproduction or rebroadcast can be aired without the written consent from KCEC Television.
Oh, you got that thing practically memorized, don't you, Mike?
Actually, I don't. I lost my little paper. Well, thanks a lot for joining us here at Hanson Stadium. Unfortunately, our Rebels did not win the national title, but congratulations to Butler County. We'll see you next year.
You're watching KAKE 51, your home for local news, weather, and sports.